Hello, everyone. This is William. I am the executive producer here at Final Show Films' sibling. And I'm here today to ask you to continue to support us in everything that we make on our Patreon. Particularly, I'd like to thank our $25 supporters, Samantha Bates, Jervine Alexander, Cat Waterflame, and Elle, without whom we wouldn't be able to do nearly as much of the stuff that we do. And without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
We're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Final Show Films. I am Sen, your game master for the evening, and also making it up as I go along.
Sounds threatening.
Making it up as I go along. I'm joined this week by Nikki.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nikki. Excuse the late dinner that I'm eating tonight. Also, I'm playing Scuzz, your Goblin Rogue, and I don't have an issue with how writers write. I just have an issue with how writers write. Okay? I will. This is the hill I will die on.
You also learned that Sal has a Jersey accent last night.
It was giving Scuzz. Like, there were 3 characters on last night that I was like, "This is Scuzz. What are y'all talking about?" Scuzz doesn't have that voice copyrighted or anything yet.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara. I'm playing Titania Valkorian, Archdruid, Aladrin, and Circle of the Grim Harvest Reaper person.
And currently, holding up the weight
Holding
of the
back
ocean.
the ocean. Mosesing, just Moses.
Less Moses and more Force Shield, but yeah.
They never did that with the Notion, though.
And Shani.
Darth Vader did underwater in
Really?
specifically.
Wait,
in,
when?
I
missed this.
I think he did it in Obi-Wan, but I also know that he did it in
I haven't finished it yet.
Star Wars, the most recent video game,
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. Yeah,
I have not
the
done
spiritual
either
sequel.
yet. Okay.
The spiritual sequel to the Jedi Knight games.
Okay. I will have to finish Obi-Wan now.
It's a spiritual sequel because it
Are there-
happens before them.
Petition for more space whales, always. The end.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Shani.
Hi, I'm Shani, and I'm playing Valdez Stonebeard, the Dwarven Samurai.
And also
The other
executive
Val.
producer's sibling.
The executive producer here at Final Show Films is sibling.
Yeah. And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Sin, the Changeling Warlock, who still has plenty of spell slots despite being a warlock, but has 0 emotional spell slots left.
Mm.
And Dakota.
Hi, I'm Dakota. I'm playing Ithram Valar, Hobgoblin War Wizard. Also plenty of spell slots left, but there might as well not be there because he's currently transformed with Tensor's transformation.
Wait, you're what? When did this happen?
There's Holly.
Oh, yeah.
This
Oh,
happened
yeah.
when
I can break. I can drop concentration, but until I do, I'm just a big muscle wizard.
that happened when they were
Oh,
reaching
Oh
up doors.
no! This is the worst.
Like as if you're
A
not
big,
already a big muscle wizard.
muscly wizard.
Oh no!
We will be
I
joined.
know.
We will be joined shortly by Holly and Craig, who will do their introductions as they come in and as I fix cameras.
Holly,
But
who is literally pulling into the garage right
Holly
now.
is about 10 minutes out.
less
No,
than that.
Holly's
No,
about
2 minutes.
2 minutes
Sorry,
out.
10 minutes out, 2 minutes ago.
But until that point, when last we left off, the Steelhearts were attempting to stealth through the transient hub of the underwater city of Coralholm, this ancient dwarven technological marvel that seems to be run on clockwork and some sort of weird contract magic.
Seems like spite with the actions we've gotten.
They have not succeeded at stealthing But they have succeeded at getting through it,
Mostly.
which are two different things. Having just escaped the onslaught of the large protector war machine golem that was bearing down on them, which through various means, each member of the party discovered probably not a thing you want to fight, even when you are level 20 and almost gods. So we specifically last left off with the tunnel leading from the transient hub to the residential hub, collapsing behind them from the onslaught of the War Machine Golem, at which point, as the majority of the Steel Hearts are shaken, injured, and soaking, trying to wrench open a closed door on the other side of the tunnel, while Titania holds back the weight of the ocean. So, Titania,
Big deal. Yeah.
you actually have to drop your animal form because you're not just controlling water right now. There is multiple gravities of pressure pushing down on you because you're at the bottom, not the like bottom, but like not absolute depths of the ocean, but you're at the bottom of your current shelf elevation of the ocean.
Okay.
Which I don't know the math for how much weight that is, but I imagine it's a lot.
Oh, you want? I can do that.
Please do. Please tell me
Okay.
how much weight is bearing down on you
Yeah.
right now.
Gotta give us a depth.
How big is the hole?
The
Like it's
continental
real
shelf.
goddamn big, isn't it?
It's the tunnel is the hole.
How big? What is the size of the tunnel?
It's about a 20-foot tall, 30-foot wide.
Damn it! Any of my Mystic Arcanums ever be useful?
What one were you trying to think of?
Force cage.
How big can you make force cage?
10 foot by on each side.
10 foot on each side. So you could reduce.
I can create a wall that it can easily flow around.
Yeah, you
and
could.
briefly stop. Briefly
Okay.
stop for an instant
Well,
about
it is an arched
A
tunnel,
wave break.
so it is like there's less distance between the walls at the top. You could shorten, like reduce the amount of like.
better yet. I have a plan.
Yeah.
And turn it into a hose and spray us.
Tanya, back here now.
Huh?
Back here now.
Okay, so the depth of the continental shelf is usually about 330 to 660 feet, and a cubic foot of water weighs 62.4 pounds. So approximately 2,000 pounds.
So about a
At
ton
minimum.
of water, yeah.
Minimum of a ton of water, give or take, depending on depth, right?
That's
I
per
was busy
square
doing
inch,
math.
isn't it?
Why am I'm
Oh, is that per square foot or
per square cubic foot? Yes.
so a ton of water per cubic
foot.
foot.
Yes.
So a lot more than a ton.
A lot. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot
So-
of water.
I have a question about
Yes.
this spell.
Yes.
Like a column of cubic foot.
Prison in the shape of a box that can be up to 10 foot on a side, creating a solid barrier that prevents any matter from passing through it. Can I have it be 10 feet on all sides except for one side that is 0 feet? It says can be 10
very-
feet on each side.
Yeah. I said look, you could make one. You could make like if you want to make it like into a wall. I'd say you could make like the two sides much
Yeah.
smaller.
Basically,
yeah.
like
They stretch
I
it
want
out.
it to be a box with an opening on one side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, once everybody is within range, I'm throwing up Force Cube up against the door. The door is the opening.
Mhm.
And no matter it's 10 foot on each side. No matter can pass through it.
Yeah. So you've got a.
Just
So-
boxed it against the door.
I
so that when it-
created a new tunnel. A new tunnel.
So it is. It how many of you are there? There's 1, 2.
It'll be crowded.
You'd have to squeeze. This will help. I will say.
There are 8 of us.
Yeah, there are too many. There are too many to cover. Too many for you to cover everybody. So who would you like to cover with that specifically?
Oh, that's real unfortunate to a couple people.
You can cover. I'll say if you squeeze, you can cover 6 of you. And
Out
remember,
of how many?
out of 9.
We're missing
Oh, 9.
All right, because our automaton
Proper.
friend, whose name I cannot
Pro-
remember.
Proper. Proper
Wait,
has
no,
to get
out
the
of-
door.
Out of 10.
10?
Out of 10, because technically Annabella's
forgetting
there as
Gent.
well. Yeah, or Gent's there. Yeah.
Proper has somebody has. We have to unlock this door, not rip it open again. Otherwise, we'll be in the exact same boat.
Mm.
All
won't
right.
be
Well,
about it.
decisions have to be made, and I feel like this is not going to be much of a surprise based on the brief conversation between Vespia and Sin last time. Proper's out. Proper is a construct. Proper doesn't matter to Sin. Grummond and Scuzz. There's 3, and I have one more.
Yeah, one more.
That I need to keep out?
Four people aren't getting covered.
Notably, most of us have water breathing on.
This
Yeah,
is
the issue
true.
isn't water breathing. The issue is
Everyone has water
The
breathing.
weight of
yeah.
of-
The issue
of-
the
of
issue is
waves
a ton
smashing
per
down.
cubic foot of water coming at you. It's less being able to
Sin's
breathe
going
and more
to-
being crushed.
Sin is going to flip through their mind very quickly, prioritizing who is most essential for this mission to keep going. And Annabelle's out. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So
Well, notably, you're still holding control water, right, Titania?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, you're not having to like drop anything. You had to switch out of your to finish my thought earlier. You had to switch out of your wild shape because it's taking all of your concentration to keep this water at bay. That is how much weight is coming down. You've never had to contend with this much of anything at once, and so it's like your spell doesn't require physical exertion, but the level of concentration that you are exerting right now is the equivalent of physical exertion right now. To give you an idea of what you're feeling like.
Okay.
So, how are you trying to get, those of you that are trying to get through the door, how are you trying to get through the door?
Does this also have a keypad deal?
Make
on one
a
of the sides?
investigation check. There's no visible keypad, no.
24.
There's no visible keypad, but you do see that there is like a maintenance panel on one side.
Okay. Gent. Velda.
William, I think you still have access to against.
I do.
Sure, you just have him make a Tinker's Tool check for me. With intelligence.
I'll attempt to help so that you can have advantage.
I'm trying to find an appropriately stressful sound for the background.
Oh, I may not need it, but let me roll again just in case. Yeah, 30. Oh, question for you, DM.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on swapping out things that have been useful but are completely different from how they are in the D&D in the 1 D&D test, specifically Dwarven Stone Cunning changing from expertise on history checks regarding stone to literal tremor sense occasionally.
Yeah, I don't mind. Like I said before, anything that anybody wants to swap out for playtest stuff, feel free.
I'm very conflicted because Stone Cunning has literally been extremely useful in this campaign, but I do love the tremor sense idea.
Yeah, one or the other. So if you just whenever you make that decision, let me know. I had a thing earlier and I cannot find it at all.
I have those. They're called thoughts.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Titania gets a nosebleed.
All right, so yeah, roll for Tigger's Tools was 30. So yeah, Gint is able to open up. Interesting. Craig got back first. Gint is able to open up the. I'm gonna wait until Holly gets in before I actually start adjusting things.
Agent of Chaos. I have
Actually,
returned.
now that I think about
You
it,
just came back in time to get crushed by a lot of water because Sin abandoned you.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fair.
To be fair, I did not just abandon you.
No.
I
She
abandoned
other
a
people,
whole
too.
bunch of people.
I feel like Sin gave up on Grummond a while ago, so definitely did not just happen.
To be
It's
fair,
just a
Sin
physical
abandoned-
manifestation of it.
Sin abandoned you, Grummond, Scuzz, Annabelle, and Proper.
Did we? So I haven't drowned yet.
So yeah,
No.
y'all explain what's going on while I adjust cameras and move
We're
things.
probably not going to drown because we all have water.
The
breathing.
water's really heavy.
It's
Yeah,
it's
just
more
a
being
lot of weight
crushed.
all at once.
It's that heavy rain.
Yes.
Sean!
Being crushed
Be right back.
under the heavy rain. Yeah, it's the danger at the moment is that if Titania lets go of the control water that she's holding on to at the moment, 2 tons per cubic foot of water will be coming crushing down onto your head.
Okay.
And there's a lot more than a cubic foot of water.
I love this bit.
That's
It's a very
service.
good bit.
That's service already has.
Mhm.
So are we still like in the open ocean or
No,
have we
you are
found
you
our
are
way
you are
to
in
a
you are in the still remaining bit of the tunnel that connects Hab 1 to Hab 2. At
Trying
the
to get the
door.
door open.
Gent has just opened up a panel and Proper has gone over and is trying to inspect it to see if he can figure out how to open the door without breaking it like y'all broke the last one.
Okay.
Also, because we forgot to mention it at the beginning, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights,
There we go.
and
Court.
yeah.
Oh, and also this stream is powered by Sirenscape.
I mean, it hasn't been
Not
yet.
sponsored
Is
yet.
it now? Is it
Hang
right
on.
now? Because it hasn't been
Hang
not
on.
for the last 15 minutes.
Look. I'm trying to
Since we're looking
find...
for noises that aren't farts.
It gets very quiet.
Bam. That's a chat.
I would vent, but I do have to work sometimes.
I would vamp,
think-
but Titania's not talking right now.
Yeah, I think.
Right, so welcome to
Ithram-
Previously on Gran Terra by Grumman Bellmender.
Oh, no, this is gonna be like
episode because I missed the first 45 minutes.
Good
So-
news. Good news, said
Oh, hey!
camera shake.
Yeah!
There we go.
Good.
That was delightful timing.
I want to
I'm-
hear Grumman's recap of things.
This
really
is gonna be
badly.
like Cord
So, yeah, so-
recounting
so-
the story
so-
of Thor and Love
Yeah,
and Thunder.
Craig, now that we've recited to you what's going on, you recite to Holly what's going on.
Oh, no.
I found some fascinating liquor in a totally unimpeachable way. Went to check it out, totally fine. And then we ran away from something again. Don't really remember that part. But then we got into a tunnel and the tunnel broke. And then Sin ran away at some point and left us all behind. And now we're still back in the tunnel. And there's a whole bunch of water coming down and trying to crush us. But don't worry, because we can breathe underwater.
We did not explain this well to Craig.
No.
Okay, let's clarify a little bit.
It's like a
So
telephone.
we're in the tunnel, water coming crashing down. Everybody except Grummond, Scuzz, Annabelle, and Proper are currently being protected by a force cage that I put up. It would have included them, except for I could only fit 6 people into it.
Okay, so Sin didn't actually bounce. Sin
No,
stood
no.
there,
Skin
couldn't
just
cover.
abandoned you to be crushed by a wave because they made a quick judgment call in their head of who is least useful to the rest of this mission.
I've had a rich, full life. It's all right.
Oh, we gotta
In
ship it
Sin's
then.
mind, not in Jeremy's.
The mental
So,
image I
I'm
have
sorry,
is-
repeat. Who was not included in it then?
Scuzz, Grummond, Proper, and Annabelle.
Okay.
Which is not to say they are dead. They are just not being covered by a force.
They're
cage
just
right
not
We're
now.
not being
Yeah.
protected.
We were all
So-
backing up against the door, and then some people hit a different door a lot sooner.
Okay.
Yes,
can
I like
ask-
that.
Can
I
I
would
ask
say
a
this.
question?
It's not a door. It's an obstacle. It's
Yes, you can ask a
really
question.
big obstacle.
about now this is some real like fantasy bullshit, and I'm totally fine if you just say no. Grumman has the Dragon's Hull, right? Which can fly, which means it has some sort of like anti-grav force on the underside. If I embiggen the Dragon's Hull, flip it over, and turn on the flight thing, and then the waterfalls, would we be okay?
No.
Okay. Like I said, if some physics
It would. It
fantasy
would
I appreciate
first,
the box.
the water's coming in this way, down and this
All
way.
the directions.
Well, okay, so okay.
so,
my point is we aim at
Second, what would happen is that the water would the boat does the Dragon's Hull doesn't have anti-gravity properties. It flies because it's magic. And so what would happen is the water would hit
Tomato.
the Dragon's Hull, set it to spinning as it hits you, and then you would get crushed underneath the water and the Dragon's Hull.
And then 2,000 years from now, some adventurers will find bones underneath a boat.
Bones underneath a boat, underneath the water.
Bones underneath a bone. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's the name of my skeleton sex tape. Bones under bones.
Hey, there's a big hornet in here, so
Oh no!
just letting everybody know.
Challenge it to a fight.
This just got very serious for Craig. You're the real world is also now very dangerous. You don't need a Sirenscape soundtrack. It's serious now.
All right.
Oh no, it's just a bee drill because you've got your head turned back. Just bee drill, go. It's because it's Ash Ketchum and
Everybody knows Big Dick B.
This is
Um,
listen. We've had chaotic stream starts before. This is a new high or low, depending on how you see it.
it's pretty low because we're like under the sea.
No,
The sea.
Under the sea. Down where it's wetter, down where it's better. Take it from me. Gonna get sucked up through the tunnel. Gonna get shunted into sea. Don't worry, guys. Just believe in me.
oh no.
Giant squid. Let's go.
Love it so much.
Your favorite Disney hits, brought to you by Scuzz.
I want that Christmas album.
Goodbye.
Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? Why does my you see, like, again, music video, but all Scuzz, all wearing like Party City cosplays of these characters, bad wig.
Fantastic.
Also a hit from this amazing soundtrack. I wanna be where the people are. Sin just left. Sin just left us in here. Oh my god.
Coming soon to Final Show Films, Scuzz's greatest hits.
Sha-la-la, go on and kiss the girl.
I
I admit that in the
legitimately
past
want-
I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a goblin. And nowadays, I've mended all my ways. I can't do the song in Scuzz's voice because I have too many words to remember. You've got your looks, your pretty face, and don't underestimate the importance of eating a full meal every day and loving your friends.
I legitimately want these songs in full. I'm gonna murder your voice.
I mean, I'm not using it for anything else at this point. It's all scuzz all the time. Also, while Sin is busy, I'm in case you're all wondering why is Nikki drinking a drink that makes her look concerned. I found these things called like day drinking, like just the cans, or I mean it's like alcoholic sparkling seltzer water stuff. And it
Not good.
it's not really good. There's two flavors. There's this southern peach flavor and there's a rosé as well. And the southern peach flavor is not as refreshing as I was hoping it would be.
The damage that Sirenscape really does to my ability to GM is the fact that I've got ADHD, and thus because I have a tool, I have to use it. And so if it's not being used, I'm distracted by the fact that it's not being used, and that's just unhealthy for me.
It is. We could just
room if that would
not
help.
use it. We could
No,
also just not
I
use
can't. It's here.
It. Okay.
Anyways,
what next Disney
So-
song should I do?
so
When
while I'm
will my life begin?
while I'm fixing the thing, somebody just roll me a d20.
On it.
Yay, Jeremy.
I mean,
Let's
do
go.
we
Do
wanna
it.
die?
Oh boy.
Should we
This
be
is
trusting
gambling.
Yes.
This?
Too late. 4.
All right. So, Proper is working on trying to hack the door open. While how long? What's the concentration on control water?
Good question. Hang
I
on.
think
Let
it's
me look.
10 minutes.
I believe so.
This is the
Yes,
more
it's 10
powerful
minutes.
spell, I believe.
Probably. It is.
4th level.
Yeah, concentration up to 10 minutes.
All right. So yeah, you say we're still in like the first few minutes, so you have about 6 minutes right now.
Okay.
So that's
I can cast it again if we need to, by the way, as well. Once
That's-
more, and then we start getting into higher level
number
spell
of rounds.
slots.
Yeah. So right now you got 6 minutes left on that first spell. What is everyone trying to do while Proper is trying to hack open the door? You can help him. You could do something else. What are your desires?
Gent was doing that.
Life?
And rolled a 30.
To live.
No, roll a 30 to get the panel open.
Okay.
He does not have enough knowledge of this technology to actually hack it. This is
I should point out a flaw in this,
yes.
which is that Gent is inside the force cage and Proper is
Proper is
outside
not.
of it.
Oh yeah. So actually no. So yeah, Gent couldn't
So
have
if
opened
this
it up.
door needs to be opened and the panel is inside the force cage,
It's
and
not.
Proper
The
is the only
panel
one who can open it.
I have. There.
the panel would not have
No,
been
it's
inside the force
fine.
cage. So actually yeah. So no. Gent wouldn't have been able to open it. We'll say that you pointed it out and Proper's over there trying to open it now.
Nobody
Cool.
worry, I killed the wasp.
Yay.
Alright.
Good job.
Murder.
So
Good job,
So-
Dad.
Water is being held up, but there's this door that's outside, so Gent can't help with it, right?
correct.
Yes,
Gent-
Gent
so
is
yeah.
unable
So
to help with the
there's
door
a
right now.
you're at the blast doors that are at the end of the tunnel. That are the large. They span the tunnel. It's a big, large door, same as the one that you tried to get that you busted open on the other side before the tunnel collapsed. It's the force cage is only 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot. So it's basically 3 of the 4 walls of the force cage are up, sheltering 6 of you, in very tight quarters. Within those 6, Ithram saw a panel. But Gent would have gone to help, but Gent can't get out of the force cage at the moment. So, Proper is trying to open the panel.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real annoyed that I have to do this, but I will help. I will help Kent get out of the force cage if he wants.
Grumman will walk up to Proper if this maybe changes what you're doing and say, I used to fix doors back home sometimes. I can give you a hand if you like. I'm proficient with Tinker's tools, and
Give me a Tinker's Tool check
Fair enough.
with intelligence.
well, not great. I will guide myself.
Go
if I
ahead.
may.
Yeah. That's why priests are always touching themselves. The guidance.
Would expect no less from you, John. So, are we doing? Is anyone helping me? Do I have advantage or no?
I mean, Proper is technically helping you. Yes, so you have advantage.
Okay. I don't have a thing tooltip for that, so I'm gonna. Oh, I'm not in roll 20. I really got it together, but I did kill that wasp, so I got that going.
Hey, look, small
There you go.
victories. Small victories.
Literally, because it was a wasp. It was like that big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Literally small victory.
How do you do like best of 2 in roll 20? Is it exclamation mark? That makes them explode.
Yeah,
right?
it'd be roll 2d20 K1.
Or just roll 2 to be 20 and we, yeah.
So a solid 8 plus a 5. No,
13.
wait. No,
Solid
plus a
5 plus 3
plus a
is
7.
8.
Plus a 7.
Okay. So that makes it
15.
15. Yeah. So yeah, it takes you a little bit of time. So we had 6 minutes on it. Takes you 2 minutes. So we're at 4 minutes now on the control water. Because this is not it's not like a panel that you can unscrew. It's actually like a recessed maintenance panel that requires a specific thing. But you managed to sort of get one of your tinker's tools, sort of like a hook around a corner to trip some sort of mechanism that lets the panel slide open, which gives Proper access to it. And now Proper begins to check. Go ahead and give me another d20 roll for Proper, somebody.
Who's doing it?
I
was
can
gonna
keep
do Grumman.
rolling if you want, but I'm giving someone else a chance
Grumman rolled a
Frank did it
15.
first.
people to live.
Yeah.
Grumman rolled a 15. The 15.
Take it back.
That's
It takes him another 3 minutes.
Can I suggest since we're assisting each other, or no, we're not helping him?
No, this is not, none of you have the knowledge to actually help him with this.
Okay.
It takes him another 3 minutes, but after about 3 minutes, and as you're sort of starting to head towards that final minute, Titania, there's a and the door slides open. It is
Ooh.
so it is slid open. You are all free to get to the other side of it now. Presumably, you do
Yes, we do that.
Yes.
that. And you all get to the other side of it. There is another panel on the other side. Proper comes over and just hits what seems like an emergency keypad. Yes, Jeremy, you look like you wanted to say something.
No, you're good.
Okay,
You're good.
cool. Looks at what looks like hits what looks like sort of an emergency keypad, similar to the one that was on the other side, and the door slams back shut again. Just as Tanya loses concentration at the time limit, and you all hear the sound of water slamming against the door before it eventually quiets down.
Did it. Just all pale, sweaty,
Well, that was exciting.
nosebleed.
Are you
you
okay?
did it, Mara.
Who's Mara?
Titania.
Titania, excuse me. Another person from my past. Don't worry about it.
There.
Okay. Are we completely out of danger's point at this point?
There is nothing actively trying to kill you at the moment.
All right, I'm casting mental prison on Grumman.
Oh boy. Oh gosh.
Make an intelligence saving throw, Grummond.
Yep,
We're doing this now.
we
Oh, boy.
100% are.
I'm gonna re-roll it.
Then the key point to reroll.
No, even worse.
Oh
All right.
All right.
So
So,
what
you
happens?
take 5d10. You took 5d10 psychic damage regardless.
Oop.
But
Don't worry, Jeremy rolls low.
no.
Unless
except
it's for
on PvP.
Yeah, except
Yeah.
for PvP.
So that's
Yes.
32. That's 32 psychic damage.
Mm-hmm.
And what appears around you is just an army of the sins that you have seen.
Well,
All of the different personas,
my sins.
all with the sword that they use pointed at you.
I immediately take a swig and I astral project myself the fuck out of here.
So you are let's finish the thing because
Yeah.
you're
and
restrained.
they start talking. Yeah.
Oh, okay. If they start talking, then okay.
Yes.
You're also restrained.
No, you can do stuff.
Yes, you can do stuff, but the spell restrains you. Mental prison.
I believe
Mental prison
it
restrains
does
you.
restrain you.
So,
But you can still astral project.
Yeah, you can still astral project. Yeah.
That you are not restricted from astrally projected when you're restrained.
Correct.
But to be fair, I thought they were charging at me with swords.
No.
They are simply holding there. That is the physical representation that you are seeing of the prison itself.
Sure.
Did the rest of us see this? I'm curious.
I think you just see him start bleeding out of his
Okay.
nose.
It's a somatic component. I think is the only component to it.
Yes.
So basically,
Which he just
makes
makes a gesture.
You see Sin make a gesture, and then Grumman sort of stands still and has a sort of a glazed look in his eyes.
What?
Okay.
Actually, I mean, I think you still see what I'm doing. My understanding of psychic prison is that, like, if I try to escape from it, then the other shoe falls.
Correct. It's illusory. We can still see what you're doing.
So my interpretation of mental prison, because of the effects that it has. So specifically, you are restrained and you can't see or hear anything beyond it. And the only time you take damage is if you are moved from it rather than you moving yourself. If the target is moved out of the illusion, makes a melee attack through it, or reaches any part of its body through it. Yeah.
If you move out of it, you take the damage.
So, like, because of the way it's worded, how, like, you are sort of locked in place, in my mind, you are locked in your mind. That is because it is a mental prison. You are in your brain. And so you are just sort of standing still. Everything that you're doing is mental.
So he's just...
And they all speak with their various different voices.
Okay, do it, Jeremy.
Grummond, I have been very... Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. They all speak with the one very neutral voice of Sin.
Okay.
Even creepier.
Grummond, I want to be clear with you. I have been very, very patient. And I have tried to be reasonable. I have tried to tell you that we literally our existence and the existence of everyone in this universe depends on us being focused on this. And I have asked you again and again, and I would have this conversation again, but you will just glibly shrug it off and ignore it. And you're smarter than that. And I suspect you know what you're doing. Therefore, let me be clear. The next time this happens, I will make absolutely zero effort to save you. None whatsoever. And if you die, you die. But my job is saving everybody else but you.
What is the...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what is the aspect of the sins around Grumman?
The aspect?
As in, what facial expression are they at?
In what attitude are they as this is being delivered?
Very coldly logical.
Swords out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The swords out, again, just being the representation. If you try to walk through, you take damage.
What exactly is it that you're complaining about? Was it getting through the door? Was it scouting around while invisible? Why don't you lay it out for me, all of you, whatever this pocket dimension that you've taken me to? I'm not even going to roll Arcana because I don't think Grumman has any idea what the fuck is going on.
It was the constant need to go tinker with things and do other things. And frankly, I don't think you're taking this seriously. And if there's anything to take seriously, this is the one thing.
You know, I disagree with you on the fact that we could have actually sit down and talked about it. I hear what you're saying, and I'm old and a bit set in my ways. But you've a point. All of this is bigger than recipes and lost cities. All of that will wait till after. I take your point.
Good.
How long does this last?
This is about this time, I think, is when they're going to end it.
Okay.
Because it's concentration based.
How far away is
for a minute?
About 5, not far. Like, they probably walked right up.
I'd punch him in the fucking throat.
Yeah.
Make a
I
attack roll.
figured that was coming. I mean,
Does a 29 hit?
I would be really concerned. Hold on, I'm just clicking this. You're not taking damage again. I'm just clicking that so it's used. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do to stop that. And I don't even think that they would because I don't think they expect this.
You take 1 point of damage. Grumman's pulling the punch,
Yeah.
and I'm using stunning strike. So make a Constitution save, please.
I certainly can. I can certainly try. You know what? Yeah, I will go ahead and use inspiration on it. No. You know what? We'll just see how this goes.
We'll get to that in a second, Holly.
I think it's funnier if I don't. I was surprisingly close for a con of 17.
So yeah, that is a fail.
Yes.
And then just sort of like, if I need to use my other attack, I will. It's just sort of a boop to knock you over.
Okay.
Mostly say it's a shove.
That's fair. I'm prone.
And then Grumman just sits down on your chest and reaches up, pulls a handkerchief out, and wipes the blood off his ears. And says, "Now, isn't this a nicer way to sit and have a civilized chat? Again, I've raised 5 dwarves to adulthood. You think I've never had any of them take a swing at me? You've seen Captain Cookie. She draws her gun every time I make a joke. That's our love language, Sin. That's how we talk. I know you're serious, and I know this situation is serious. Maybe you should admit it's serious to yourself and fucking get over yourself and join the goddamn club." Grumman will stand up, and I'm sure the thing is worn off, and will hold a hand out.
So-
Get up on their own.
Simultaneous to this, when Nikki gets back, another thing is happening.
Yes.
Is there anything else happening simultaneously? Because this is fairly quick. That like in real time, that was only like what happened that the rest of y'all could see was that Sin made a gesture, walked over, less than a minute passed, and then that happened. So while that confrontation and another confrontation is happening that we'll get to the details of momently and might change what you guys are doing in a second, what's the just sort of the initial first thought, like reaction that the rest of y'all are having right now, having just gotten through?
Ithram has a passive perception of 11, and so he probably just went right through the door and started looking around to make sure that there was nothing else on the other side that was going to fucking kill us. So he's probably just looking around.
And hasn't even noticed anything?
Turn around. No, yeah. He's just like looking around, and then we'll turn around and see Grumman bleeding, sitting on Sin's chest, having a conversation that he tunes into partway towards the end of. It's like, what? All right, I think what the fuck is going on?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Energy. All right.
So first of all, what you all see, those of you that are paying attention to things other than each other, you've come into what seems to be a much less well-kept section of the of Coral Home. The stone around here is much more broken cobblestone streets. The buildings have much more obvious holes in it. It's also far less sort of fancy. You get the feeling that this is that they probably put their best foot forward in the construction of the first hab, and then everything else was a little bit more less strenuously put together, less concerted of an effort. Because this is the residential area. This is the core residential area. So you're getting various sorts of like still a vaguely metropolis-esque, like a metropolitan-esque area, with tight packed streets with multi-story buildings, apartment complexes, some individual homes, larger gardens and yards like that. But it's definitely a lot more worn down than the previous hab was. With a 4, Ithram,
I'll also send Felix just up and out and let him.
You haven't actually bound to him yet, because you all haven't taken a rest to do that.
Yeah, no, I'll ask him.
Yeah.
Since he's purring in the back of my head mentally while I'm looking around and be like, can you please go higher and see if there's anything else?
He seems distracted by something. Specifically, now that Nikki's back. So simultaneous to the events that are happening with Grummond and Sin, Vespia just marches right over towards Scuzz and tries to grab your collar. Scuzz, what's your initial thought reaction?
It's okay, Vespia. If you want to hug it out
So no roll needed. Yeah, you just grab Scuzz and pick him up by the collar.
Yep.
Why would he run from his friend? Yeah. Why would he need to defend this?
She is staring daggers at you right now.
Okay, is it about the cup or about the big giant castle thing, or is it the tunnel, or is it all the above? Or are you actually not like my friend anymore? I do not like goblins. I'm sorry for being a goblin.
Scuzz,
Yeah.
I have nothing against goblins.
Okay. That would be bad because your fiance is a goblin.
Scuzz,
Yes. Don't punch me.
I understand that you and Grumman have been having a lot of fun. But do you realize the situation we're in right now?
Yeah.
At some point, you need to start taking things seriously, or you're going to get people killed.
I know.
Okay?
Okay.
Wait. When will that start?
I understand that you're upset about the goof that me and Grummond had with the mead section. I take full responsibility for deviating from what we was trying to do. But also, I mean, we just had a lot happen in the barracks area where the map was, and then the thing with the cannons really sucked. And to be fair, there was a very loud gunshot that instigated that part of the running.
The gunshot was to assist you.
I could have stabbed it.
You weren't doing well.
I didn't even get a chance. I'm not saying I'm not wrong for what I was doing. It's okay to take silly breaks sometimes.
Absolutely. Not here and not now.
Okay.
We are currently being chased by something that could easily kill any of us.
Okay.
We are trying to get the ritual and get out.
Okay.
After that would be the time for breaks.
I don't know. We all look really rough. I also, like, you can see Scuzz is like, his face is puffy. He is covered in soot and water and everything. He's like, I'm not gonna lie. even without the mead, a little break would be good. We are tired, but you're right. We should get moving, but also finding better places to take breaks is also not a bad idea. That place was not a good place to take a break. You are right.
I don't think anywhere here is a good place to take a break.
That's true, but if we don't take breaks, we will die.
I understand that. But there's taking a break and getting some rest, and there's messing around with things that you don't know. Because this is an unfamiliar place that we are in.
That's fair.
Okay. I'm going
Do you feel
What?
better talking about it now?
She's about to put you down. Her grip will tighten.
Yeah, no, again, charisma 4.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
Do you feel better talking about it now?
She's just going to set you down and step away.
Thank you for having this enlightening conversation with me.
So, Titania, with a 20 perception, assuming
Yep.
you're also looking around.
Yeah, mostly, yeah.
Does yeah. Does what just happened affect that decision to look around at all? Because that conversation
no.
probably ends at roughly the same point where
I mean,
Sin is being pulled back up.
Right. Getting up on their own, they don't
Or
take the hand.
getting back, yes.
no, it does not affect anything.
Uh,
I look.
Valdeth.
And there's a reason Valak didn't roll perception.
Legit.
As turning around and witnessing both of these, there's a low growl that comes from the dwarf captain of the Steelhearts. And she sort of reaches a hand out, and a second katana appears in her opposite hand from her normal one. And there's a splitting stone sound as both her regular katana and her off katana just slam into the dirt, into the stone next to her. And she just positions herself between the two blades that are now embedded in the stone and just looks at the two quarreling groups.
Grumman smiles at Sin and gestures at Valdeth and says, "See, as our love language."
While I understand that there are grievances to be aired in this particular moment, mayhaps immediately in the aftermath of danger, when we are unsure if we are even safe on the other side of this door, is not the place to air them. Are the two groups done? Or must I intervene to prevent us from killing each other in a city that is already trying to do that for us?
Vespia, do you want a hug? This is absolutely Scuzz is asking that. Okay, I think we're done.
We're done.
What form is Sin in right now?
Sin has actually dropped to their natural form at this point.
Sin, how about you?
I'm done. The only thing I'm going to say to you, Valdeth, is I had this conversation here because it should have been done a long time ago by you, their captain.
While I don't disagree, I'll reiterate, not here.
Fair enough.
Picks both swords back up, and they both disappear.
Do I hear anything?
So with a 20 perception, Titania, you're sort of just recovering from the exertion.
Looking out.
It is still and silent in this area. No,
Okay.
no wind, but you were expecting that because you're underwater. But there's no sound of mechanical entities. There's no clockwork sound. There's no
It's not
sound
like
of
the little
movement. There's not even the sound of like wood creaking or anything like that. It's just empty, aside from the buildings.
We're very loud. Can I tell? I mean, this is not a natural environment, so like I don't know if she'd be any good at this. If this is a like situation of something bigger is incoming, and so all of the smaller things like all of the stuff we were seeing down in the sewers, for example, have gone quiet, or if this is
give me an insight
there's
check.
nothing here.
Give me an insight
Okay.
check. 30. The level of ruin that this area is in tells you that the maintenance drones are not operating in here. So either there just aren't enough to go around, there never have been, or something got rid of them. As you sort of look around, you do notice a couple of bits of damage on the buildings are not from just natural age.
Okay. There's something bigger over here.
Valdeth looks around,
We need to be quieter.
looks at what Titania's looking at. We need to move this way.
All right.
And she will start leading the way that she had plotted out through the next region.
All right.
Keeping an eye out for anything
So
moving.
the first thing you notice as you begin looking at your construction map is that it's not going to be useful here.
Mhm.
The building plans that you've got do not match the current layout of the hab. They matched the first one almost to a T. You're not certain if it's just the city grew since these plans were made, or things had to be restructured, or just things have been rearranged since whatever happened. But like the first street you try to walk down, there is a building there instead of a street, and like you can see where there used to be a street that went through here, but there isn't one. Like the foundations are still like there's like a sort of like a street that's sort of like cut off as if they turned a street into a sidewalk and then built up. But yeah, you're pretty confident that map's not going to help you. You have an idea of the direction based like you have like from door to door, but you're not certain. You don't have a path to go through anymore.
Do we still have the telepathic stuff going up Ithram?
Yeah, it lasts an hour.
Okay.
We did it right before we came up from the sewer.
Bella, do you let us know that the map doesn't match?
She, after a few moments, she sort of looks around. This doesn't track. Hang on. And to answer your question, John, I will make that particular change.
Okay.
As she uses her bonus action, Stone Cunning, to gain tremor sense to a range of 60 feet for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, you focus, connecting yourself with the earth beneath your feet, using this ancient dwarven ability that has not been referenced yet because it didn't exist prior to now. Playtest material.
Hey.
And you sort of feel the vibrations of the ground around you. You can feel all the people around your party around you moving. You feel no other movement right now.
I know the direction we need to go. And I can sense the paths that are ahead of us and might be blocking us. So let's move quickly and quietly.
You do know that you like with tremor sense, you can also feel the other side of this wall, but you can't tell the wall's there, really. So like you get a sense of like the different like air pressure almost kind of, but like so you can tell that there's a change in the floor, but not necessarily that whether or not it's blocked or not.
Yeah. And it's only 60 feet, so
yeah, it's only 60 feet.
You want me to scout
You'll be able
out?
to see you before you be able to feel.
Scouting. No, it's because it's really good. Yeah, the scouting ahead is necessary.
My boy, how is Scuzz looking? My
Scuzz has
memory is not
20
so good.
hit points.
Yeah. My boy, you're not looking so good.
Scuzz is like raises his hand, and his hand just like clinks like to the side. It's like, I'm fine.
Look, I'm fast. I can be entirely unseen.
How are you doing? How is Grumman doing?
Other than friendly fire, I haven't taken a scratch. I'm just below 200 hit points. I'm at 195. I'm doing great.
Okay, Grummond, scout ahead. What we're looking for specifically are A, paths forward, and B, places that look secure enough to rest, because all of us are fucking exhausted.
He kind of checks his pockets and he said, I'll replenish a bit from the hall after we get a chance, but I'll go ahead and burn through my remaining supply for now. So you can hear sort of a sloshing as he checks the various jars and flasks and bottles that he's got in his pockets. That's my in-universe way of saying I have 14 more key.
Scuzz,
So go ahead.
Scuzz, you get 80 hit points. Titania pats you on the head. Heal.
I will, if no one has any objections, and I will drop invisible at that point, because I remember 2 weeks in a row I can do that at will. Go accompany with Grummond.
I look at the two of you. Is that going to be a problem?
Absolutely not, says a voice from nowhere.
Then go ahead.
Grumman grins and says, I just want to say, if I don't come back, you can all assume it was Sin's fault. If Sin doesn't come back, probably an absolute accident. And we'll turn and take a screen.
A wild shape again.
Listen,
in
I'm
case.
not saying that Grummond that Grummond is secretly chaotic evil, but it would be the least surprising thing to me.
He is chaotic neutral. I mean, so yeah, sure. Let's send the neutral evil and the chaotic neutral off by themselves. Totally good. Let's do it.
Bad.
This is fine.
As what does Titania wild shift into?
Oh, she is just doing the Reaper spirit. Summon Reaper. So she has wings now in case we need to move above or off the ground or anything. It's comforting. She's got wings. They're feathery.
Yes.
I have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Go ahead.
I just have to. Yeah. Okay. It was DC 15, or else I'd gain a level of exhaustion from Tensor's transformation.
Good thing you have abs of steel.
Exactly.
An 8-pack.
These
my secret. I'm flexing all the time.
Your heaving, galloping abs have calmed down as Tensor's transformation wears off.
How does Vespia feel about this?
I can
It's
tell
just
you
that
relaxed
gif of
now.
James McAvoy fanning himself.
Yes.
So, the two that are turning invisible and scouting ahead, give me stealth checks with advantage because you're invisible.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I
28.
will guidance myself. What? Virtual tabletop not found. What are you doing, bud?
When you're invisible,
Oh,
no
I
one can
closed.
see you touch yourself to give guidance.
By the way, I will point out I always find it amusing that picture that James McAvoy did is the one used for like fanning yourself, because in the movie it's him having a fucking panic attack.
Right.
Has nothing to do with that.
Wait, is it? I mean, is it? I don't know. That's kind of all how I use it, as like the oh no. Like,
No, everybody uses it for that. That is what it is used for. Is the oh my god, something is so hot.
But it's actually him having a panic attack.
never
Yeah.
looked
You're
like
having
it.
a panic attack.
Yeah.
Good to know. I'll probably stop using that then. The more often than not, when I'm
I
like, oh,
mean-
something is hot, I usually use the gif of the girl that's about to drink some water, and then she just dumps it on her head.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's a gif from a movie. Like it's
from-
not the worst. like
From the Angelina Jolie curved
Wanted,
bullet
yes.
movie. Thank you.
yes, the delightfully bonkers, and I will stand by and defend
it's a
that
great movie.
till my last breath. As dumb as it is.
It's up there with Malevolent as like goofy concept, goofy
25.
execution, but very, very good movie.
Yeah.
Is at the height of McAvoy, like
Dude,
him doing a bunch of shit. It
The
was great.
keyboard moment.
Yeah, keyboard was pretty good. All right, so the two of you, very stealthy, very quiet as you move on. Now, give me either survival or investigation checks.
I will roll investigation, because I am better at that.
And yeah, while they are ranging ahead, Valdeth is still moving the group forward and using her tremor sense to find paths.
That
they
said-
walked off.
We probably can't help each other, right? We're invisible.
We
think we're
can,
inclined to
because
help
I can
each other.
telepathically talk to you at will, and you can respond when I talk to you.
Are you doing that though? I got a 21. Survival.
I mean, we're both rolling in. We are both already rolled individually, but
I feel
going
like we
forward.
probably aren't helping each other just for character reasons.
possibly. I'm not saying that's a no.
All right. Why am I? Oh, that's fine. That's interesting. All right, sorry.
I have the duration of Grumman's invisibility of tremor sense, so I am finding paths whenever there's a break off as we move forward.
All right. So
Oh shit, that's a good roll. That was just me testing to make sure the macro worked.
with 11 and a 17,
20.
so an 11 and a
You have
20.
the guidance.
11 and 20. The two of you are you're finding the occasional path. What you're learning here mostly is that it looks like you're seeing odd things based on your experience in the previous hab. There are some streets that have just been completely barricaded. Like you pass by one street and you look down and there's just a ton of debris and boxes and like furniture that's just been piled to block off that particular street access.
Right.
And then you continue on. You find a well, which doesn't seem too terribly odd considering that they have to have some sort of fresh water, but also it's a well in an underwater city.
Is it? Can we see anything down it?
No, it's completely empty.
Okay.
That's just
Well,
as
it's
far as you
empty
can
all the
tell.
way down to the bottom.
Yeah,
or
as
we
far as you
can't
can
see the
tell, as
bottom?
far as you can see, yeah, you can't see the bottom. You find a couple of different stretches of path that you could take, all of which that sort of tend to lead into a deeper residential area. Go ahead and give me insight, both of you, individually. This is not something you can help with.
25.
22.
Can I guide myself or no? It'd be a 20.
This wouldn't be a guidance thing. This is sort of an instinctual, like, back of the head kind of thing.
Got it.
It strikes you, as you are sort of like looking at these various entrances and exits that you're finding, it strikes you that something feels off. I mean, other than the off on the entire city, something feels off very specifically about the entrances you're finding. And what you're seeing, where it seems like buildings have been, have sprung up or been constructed over paths, it feels particularly to Sin, but you get a sort of a different interpretation of the same sense. It feels like something is waiting, like this is a trap, but you can't put your finger on why.
In Grumman's head, you just hear, all right, this is where we go back and tell the rest of the crew.
And responding, I don't know if you can. I guess you can hear it.
Yes.
Crumb doesn't really understand how this works. Says, you have that sense that there's something waiting for us.
This is... Well, it feels like a trap. I have a feeling that it's something else. Yes, we should at least wait until everybody's here and prepared before we spring this.
I think it's down the well.
Could be. Let's go.
Right.
And yeah, making our way back.
Should I burn another 4 key? I'm gonna say yes. I'm sure
Yeah.
this has been more...
Yeah. Y'all are moving slow intentionally so that you can scout ahead. So yeah, after a little while, as those that have been following behind, you've been following behind, and you've been seeing similar. You haven't been seeing quite the degree that they have because they've been gone further ahead. But yeah, it definitely looks almost like the residential area has been walled off with more residents as you're sort of like looking at it as you're passing through. Yes, Mara.
Titania would be looking for more evidence of this damage that happened more recently. She is trying to piece together what this thing that did that damage might be. Is it how tall it is? If I can tell what kind of creature or
Give me a
construct type it might be.
Investigation check.
Okay.
Aldeth will assist with that, or if you want, I can make it because I think she's trying to keep an eye out for that as well.
Yeah, I'll assist you. That's better. Yes, I have a +0.
She has a +7.
She's better at nature.
Blue. It doesn't matter if we both rolls are shit, but 15.
Something. It's something.
So yeah, 15.
Pointed damage out
Is it
to
a big
everybody.
something?
It looks, as you're sort of looking at the damage as you're passing by, you're not seeing a whole lot more evidence of this damage, other than just sort of the natural damage that has occurred from the city being neglected. The few bits that you see,
How old is your brain?
it's very difficult to tell.
That
Because
was Craig.
it's difficult to tell because
Sorry. My child has figured out a way to interrupt without coming into the room by dropping things to my phone.
That's all right. It looks almost like weapon damage rather than like a natural thing. But it's hard to discern what kind of weapon because of the pattern. It's sort of like the patterns feel natural, but the damage left behind seems unnatural.
What's the scale of weapon we're talking about? We're talking like man-sized weapon or like cannonade-sized weapon?
If man-sized, great sword-sized.
Yeah, okay. So these are like significant like chunks taken out.
Yeah,
of objects,
yeah.
Like something with giant claws or someone wielding a big sword.
Yeah. Somewhere along those lines.
We have a couple people like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna catch up to ourselves. This is another time loop. Fuck.
But eventually, the forward scouts return.
Yep. So yeah, sorry. As I just pop into vision. So there's something up ahead.
Probably down a well.
Probably down a well. That feels like something is waiting for an opportunity to respawn, shall we say.
And we didn't see any safe spots, right?
I mean, you didn't see any like access to any of the buildings. Like you'd have to go into the residential area to find something that might be viewable as safe. Everything so far has been the outer wall and the wall of buildings.
Yeah. And it seems like whatever's out there waiting is between us and the Hab district.
Yeah.
Well, you're in the Hab.
Well,
It's between you and where you.
residential
It's in your destination. Yeah, it's like it's
trying to find a way to not have Drummond say residential, but he's from a tourist town. He probably says that all the time.
amongst the houses.
I figured out what it is. It's a sentient homeowners association.
We should run. The
That's
universe
terrifying.
isn't worth it.
That's
Want to disintegrate the roof? Everybody hold on to your pants.
There's a woman coming out with that Karen Chelsea haircut. But it's like the giant castle with guns, but they just have eviction notices shooting out of it.
Oh no, it's an
Yeah.
Eldritch Karen.
An
I know,
Eldritch
I
Karen.
know their weakness. Quick, everybody,
The-
get out your unseasonable lawn decorations.
Well, if
Ithram, cast plane shift. This is too much.
Go, everyone, get your chalk and write Black Lives Matter on chalk sidewalks quickly.
No, that just summons more of them.
Oh no!
Yes, Titania.
I don't know if it's. I mean, I don't think we're gonna be able to ambush it if it feels like waiting or something. But if we deal with it, then this place is we'd be killing the apex predator. This place would be a great.
Yes. If we manage to bring down whatever this thing is, it would probably be safer to rest, assuming it's not one of the things that's being kept around by whatever this contract is.
Or it could be one of the worst things out there. I mean, are you sure we don't want to try to rest here? Just block up the place first, and then go out.
We can.
I don't
mean-
believe we're in any situation to ambush anything or retaliate should something attempt to
I think
ambush
if we
us.
spend too long here, it'll get tired of waiting to ambush and start hunting.
I mean, is there a reason we can't use any of the places that we've used before, like Ithram's Manor or Vespia's Chest?
True.
That would be, we would effectively be taking ourselves out of this area, so it would again be alone.
Possible.
Do we know if the magic that's here would affect the? I don't know how that works.
I've seen nothing to suggest that it would.
Okay.
Also, the
I've seen
machines
no
have been less
rooms.
present here, as far as we can tell.
I'm still all right on spells. I have.
Though there are less construct entities, the effect of the law on this place is still in effect. You hear Proper sort of chime in.
What does that mean?
That means that whatever part of the contract that affects this particular hab is in effect.
So the residents will still attempt to kill us. Possibly not. Specific on what constitutes a resident.
Proper just at this point, Proper doesn't really have any additional input. He just sort of looks at you.
Yeah, no, he's kind of just thinking out loud.
If this thing is one of the creatures that's being kept alive, then we won't have a way to deal with it.
Permanently.
But if it's not, then dealing with it will create what I would only assume to be a relatively safe place to rest.
It does. I mean, the fact that it drove away the repair drones sounds like it's not, getting.
I don't think that the defenders of this city that were created by this contract have anything against the machine life that already exists here. The fact, or even against the city itself. The fact that it seems to have been damaging not only the city but also the drones set to repair it tells me it
That's
may
chaotic.
be something. Yes, it seems more chaotic than orderly. These wounds in the building seems haphazard. It might even perhaps be an idea of whatever it was that led to this contract being drawn.
So what is the plan?
How's everyone doing?
I would not mind an hour.
So would I.
I'm fine one way or the other, but take this from the place of love from which it comes, you all are looking rather rough. I'll help the little bit that I can, but
I'm still feeling the drain from the animated armors we've battled. I don't have all of my stamina.
We can at least try to take a full rest, and if that doesn't work, we get what we get.
I want to keep lookout.
Ithram, is the key even functional down here?
I see no reason why there shouldn't be. I can attempt to use it. If not,
Shall we try that and see if we can get a full night's rest? As much as time is of the essence, us dying is a final loss.
Indeed, doesn't do anything any good.
I think there's a trade-off to be had. Though I may not agree with the way in which it was said, Sin's not wrong. This is an important task, of course, but there's a trade-off to be had between focusing on it and focusing on it to the exclusion of all else, including our own health. Because if we die on the way there, we're no good to anybody.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Sounds
Alright,
like you
then.
try the drawer.
yes,
Try the door, see if we can get a safe place to rest.
I will walk over to a random section of wall nearby, and the key will just slide into it, turn, and then the door.
The key does not slide into it.
All right.
You feel like a magical ripple almost as you try to activate it.
All right.
Make an Arcana check.
I was gonna say he does it again a couple more times.
Yeah.
See if we can pinpoint.
Tink,
Wait,
tink,
what
tink.
hang
exactly
on.
is
Let me
happening.
flip the USB.
Yep. oh, I'm using the handle. My bad. Arcana.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Inspiration. 19.
With a 19, it feels like it doesn't feel like the item isn't magical. It feels like there is you've been thinking back, to what Popper said about the laws being in place on this particular area. You can only assume that using that key breaks a law that has been placed on this area.
I'm ready to break all of the laws. Break laws.
And unfortunately, unlike societal laws, these are laws of reality. So,
Is there any
Well,
soil around?
no, it's all urban.
Stonework.
No gardens or anything like that?
I don't believe will be.
Yeah, some
Not
food scraps, I could make some dirt.
not where you've seen so far. There might be some further in, but not what you've seen so far.
What Ithram was saying.
Yes. It appears that any type of, I believe, extra plane of magic will not work while we are in this.
I have a sneaking
Settlement.
suspicion.
What?
Ithram, can you drop a teleportation circle? But don't step through it, just open it if you can. I don't think you will be able to.
Wait.
I don't have it prepared today.
That's fine.
I have other
So-
ones.
By its nature, teleportation is no different than any short-range teleport spell. I'm going to cast
My
Dimension
concern is that the laws of this contract are preventing travel in and out of any kind, dimensional teleportation or otherwise.
Yes, because I've used Vortex Warp.
Yes,
I
we've
Oh,
used
then I'll
short
try-
range
Then
teleportation.
I'll try something different. I'm going to cast Banishment on Scuzz.
Scuzz disappears.
Goodbye.
And then I cancel concentration on it.
Scuzz doesn't return. He's off in
Plane travel, plane travel is allowed at the very least.
But demi-planes are sort of unique in that they're not really another place. There's pocket place within the place.
Which is literally what
Yes.
that is.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
You can't do semi-permanent ones, maybe. I don't know. It's not letting us rest.
It's
Based
not
on
letting us
this,
take that. I'm
would
curious if it'll let
Vespia
us.
be able to use her chest?
Do you try?
Yes.
Let's see what the rules for laying your chest bare are.
It's never not funny. Never not funny. I'm a 12-year-old.
We are the power
No.
couple, chest and abs.
Oh my god.
Those are our superhero
Yes.
names.
Yes. Oh my god.
What's the name of the
Oh
item
my
again?
God.
Hold on.
Magnificent.
Cottage chest.
Oh, that's less.
It's even better.
Stacey,
I don't
are
even
you
know
okay?
why, it
You haven't
just
finished
is.
your cottage chest. Yeah, I love eating my bagels with cottage chest.
Is it
Have to have
the
enough
is it
space, I
the cottage chest?
I believe so. It just says cottage chest in my. sheet.
I have if it's a Griffin saddlebag thing, I have it as cottage chest.
Hang on. It might not be a thing that I've got. I might not have put it into.
Here. Hold on.
Enter the cottage chest.
Motherfuck.
I could read it.
There you
if
go,
want.
in
I have
chat.
it up there. Okay.
In Roll20 chat.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, place it just on the ground. Speaks fan word. Yeah, no, yeah, you can in fact utilize that. So you put down the chest and it expands into a small cottage, blocking off part of the road here. But
Well, that works at least.
Good
My
enough
chest
for
always
me.
works.
it's
I'll-
not
I'll
to be clear. Just in case anybody's forgotten, it's not like a magically protected house. It's just a house.
We'll still
Legit.
need watch if we're resting here.
I'll get a strong brew coffee going, and if I can have just a little bit of time to collect myself, I'll be fine to stand watch for the rest of the evening.
But it is a magical house with a door that can only be opened at your command.
And that
And you
can be
can't-
destroyed.
Yes, but it is magical too.
Yeah.
So that's hard.
What if we stayed inside and looked out through the window?
Yep.
I will.
That's what I was planning.
We'll get the rest that we can and see what comes of it.
I've already walked in.
It's true. It is.
Don't. No, I know where you are about to
You're
go.
already
Don't
trying
do it.
too hard, so don't.
It's not that I'm trying too hard. It's just it comes unbidden to my brain.
Yep, I know where you're going with that because yeah.
Anyways,
Back inside.
oh, there it is. So you all go inside.
Yep.
You are the cottage expands. You go inside. It's the 2-story cottage with a fully stocked kitchen that you weathered a blizzard in. You're all extremely tired. As a reminder, it does give benefits for cooking inside it if you use the tools. The cottage is filled with magical utensils that automatically stir, measure, and heat all manner of cuisine. Any check made using cook's utensils within the cottage has advantage on the roll. And when left to its devices, it magically produces an array of baked goods for up to 8 creatures when the cottage appears the first time each day. And again, each day at dawn until it's dismissed. So you go in, there's already some baked goods in there.
Got a 20 for a total of 31 on my cooking check to make food for everybody.
Yeah, no,
And I'm
gonna. You've made food. Made good food.
Like I said, I'm gonna brew some espresso strength coffee and just take a short rest while everybody sleeps. I don't. Titania, I think, might be staying up too, but
Yes.
you don't. Grumman would encourage you to get a full rest, but not
I
beyond that.
don't need to have that much rest. Thank you, though. She is going to pull Valdeth aside. You didn't tell me that you were still feeling off from those things.
It's hard to describe.
As she does your hair and is going to cast greater restoration on you.
That costs material components. Don't
It
spend
It
the
does.
costs like 1,000 gold.
We
or
have
something.
Vespia. It's 100 gold.
We have the Bank of Vespia.
Yeah, exactly. We have a bank again.
To be fair, Valda still has a decent chunk of gold as well. I
Yep.
was just thinking it was more than 100 gold.
No, it's 100 gold. It's not.
I
that
have
much.
5.
I have 300
I
gold
have
now.
like 1,500.
As Titania will say that, Vespia will just shout from off screen, "Let me know if you need more."
Will do.
You just took a loan from me, Grumman shouts back.
But yes, it was. Mechanically speaking, she had 35 max hit points gone.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
no,
a
you
lot
don't.
of us have that, to be fair.
I know, but she is concerned about her wife.
That is absolutely a fair point.
As Valda sits and lets her hair be done up.
Getting your hair braided is one of the
It is
greatest
one of the most relaxing
experiences.
things in the world.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good.
Great.
As she sort of sits and lets her hair be braided. I'm worried that it's only going to boil over more. Everyone is under rightfully so, an incredible amount of stress right now.
We're on edge. This place is kind of creepy.
It is. And everything's trying to kill us. We don't need everyone in the party trying to kill each other.
I agree. We're doing something that hasn't been done before. There's no map.
And while Sin is correct in that people need to be taking this seriously, if it's too serious, despair follows. And that makes everyone far less effective than an occasional goof. There's a balance to be struck.
She's going to put some flowers in your hair without asking. She's just going to do it as she finishes. You're doing all right. She's going to kiss your forehead and go and keep watch.
Behind every strong woman, there's another strong woman. We stand.
She just collapses onto a bed and sleeps.
So,
Fuck you, Sin. It gets me every time. Every time the music changes.
I love it.
how many of you are going to sleep?
Valdat is.
So everyone except
So sleepy.
Grumman and
Yes,
Titania?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's
to be clear, I'm getting a long rest, so I'm spending the required 4 hours of sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it was going to take the
But
long
yeah,
rest.
no, I will absolutely be. Yeah, I'm taking a long rest.
How many of you
Yeah,
are
I'm doing my
actually
long-
sleeping while you're long resting? Because
I do not
Valda-
sleep where God
I
where
trance.
God rituals are.
I used to not need to sleep, but now I need to sleep.
I'm going to trance for like the second half, but she's
Okay.
doing watch first with Grummond.
Okay. Go and give me perception. You and Grumman can give me perception checks.
Yep.
And
We'll eventually get up for a watch as well.
Yeah.
Ithrim, are you taking the time to
Yeah,
ritual
we'll
cast?
do that
Hunt Flame?
before
Right. So yeah, Felix will submit. Felix will willingly become your familiar if asked. So you can spend the material components.
Before he does, though, he does summon Shakar, thank him for all the help that he's done, and then sends him back to the elemental plane where he pulled him from.
Sorry, now I'm imagining
Aw.
like you find a familiar that you want. And you're like, okay, would you like to be my familiar? They're like, I don't know. What do they give me? Like, court me, damn it! Familiar courting. Just.
I've seen familiars played that way, and I was always like, I'm jealous.
It's really
Right?
good. Love that.
Obviously, I'm bringing stuff to the table. What are you going to bring to me?
Exactly.
So yeah.
You now have Felix in your journal. Actually, I need to put him under familiars. Hang on. He's in characters.
I know Felix
There we
is
go.
supposed to be like a dragon.
No, Felix
No,
is
cat.
a psy-cat.
It is a cat. So
Yeah, Felix
Felix
is a
the
cat.
cat.
Yes,
Felix
Felix
the cat.
is a cat. Yes,
Purple cat.
a purple
I know.
floating cat with 3 eyes.
I know, but my brain went immediately to Felix the cat, who I wouldn't say is the grandfather of Garfield and what's the other one?
Odie.
No,
That's a dog.
another cat character
Heathcliff.
that's well
Heathcliff.
Heathcliff. Thank you.
But with a 25 and a 17, Titania, during your first watch, you do hear something. You don't see anything. Just ever so slightly. It's like sort of the equivalent of seeing something for a moment in your peripheral vision, but auditory. As you're sort of keeping an eye out the window. You just
Okay.
hear the sound of something just scratching, like sort of scratching along like some sort of wooden object or stone. Just this.
Is it getting closer or farther away? Where
You only hear it
I can't
once.
tell. Okay.
You hear it once, and then you don't hear it again.
And I did not hear.
Grumman, you don't hear or see anything, Grumman, no. Everyone that's taking their long rest, that is sleeping during their long rest, or trancing, but not if you're just sitting around not doing anything, give me a charisma saving throw.
Charisma, not wisdom.
Oh
How dare.
no! Goodbye,
Oh.
everyone.
Oof. Yeah.
Bye.
Same.
This is a force of personality thing, not a
I'm gonna use an inspiration.
seeing through illusions.
Let's
or
try that
something.
again.
I have a 5.
Dude,
This is a proficiency
regret.
problem thing that no
Hold
one.
up.
I'm definitely not letting that sit. Using that inspiration.
Oh,
God,
goodness.
Ah,
Oh, I was going to
Oh,
say like I have
well.
a puff. I have a plus.
That's
5 now.
better.
I got a 12. Surprisingly, I am
21.
surprised.
Top
This is a
10.
nobody but the warlock has charisma save proficiency, and the monk obviously because they have everything save proficiency.
Go figure. The awkward wizard that couldn't pick up on hints failed to charisma save.
Mm.
All right. So, Sin, Titania, and Valdeth, you have a dreamless or visionless, in the case of the Transient Titania, night.
Like always.
It's a little. You don't feel as well rested as you would normally do when you wake up, but you still feel rested. It's just a little like something about the atmosphere here is just a little draining.
It's stale.
Yeah.
Stale air.
Question.
Yes.
Magical effect? Is this what we're saving against a magical effect?
Technically, yes.
Technically, is
It's
my
not a
favorite.
spell, but it is a magical effect.
That's fine. I got a 3.
Cool.
Can I have
Good
advantage
to know.
on saying charisma saves against magic effects? Yeah.
Yep.
Vespia. Normally when you go to sleep, you see visions of yourself in alternate realities.
mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen tonight.
Okay.
You, Ithram, and Scuzz. Let's see. I think that's Yeah, because Titania rolled again. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you, Ithram, and Skuz spend the entire night locked in a dream where you are being it's a dream of being, it's one of those like classic pursuit dreams, where you're like when you're running away from whatever it is that you're compelled to run away, but you stumble every time. You can't run properly. You end up sort of like flailing on all fours trying to get away. And you never really get a sense of what it is you're running from. But it's just a dream of raw terror and helplessness. And when you wake up, all three of you have a level of exhaustion. You otherwise get this is not an environmental hazard.
I'm immune to exhaustion.
Oh, you just mean to exhaustion, or is it immune to exhaustion from
Yeah,
environmental effects?
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure because that's why I checked for tensors. External sources of exhaustion. Self-imposed.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So you are not. So yeah, you are not exhausted. The three of you do get otherwise get the normal effects of a long rest. You just gain a level of exhaustion on waking up.
I'm so disappointed in you.
And as you
Ethan can't get tired unless he makes himself tired.
Yeah.
Poor
As-
Vespia. Make sure you ask for breaks, girl.
as the three of you wake up in a cold
Hydrate.
sweat with this night-long nightmare having ended. That's where we're going to take a break. So if you are watching, please, when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do what you need to do. Stay tuned for these commercial messages, because we'll be back in just a few minutes. we're back. A
A
dinosaur,
dinosaur story.
Out there.
It was once
gonna
again
be
from my
delightful.
audio simultaneous.
Yeah,
And,
this is
but
what I
from
want.
From mine, she was slightly ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yep. But mine's the only one that counts because mine's the one that goes to the internet.
Fair enough.
Nikki.
I'm getting it. One day I'll just do it before.
One day. Anyways. So, when we left off, 3 of you woke up in a cold sweat. 2 of you with levels of exhaustion. 1 of you not because you are the chosen of war.
My abs are too strong.
Oh, spooky.
Your abs were doing essentially Bowflex the entire time that you were having this terrible dream, and that stopped you from having a bad the exhaustion. Y'all remember Bowflex? Y'all remember Tybo? Anyway, sorry.
Oh God, it's bad high school memories. Okay.
So, you all. Otherwise, the night passes uneventfully.
Oh, I feel better.
Ah,
Did you share the sound that you heard or no, Titania?
Yes. It's like, did you hear that when we were having
Okay.
a watch? Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to
Was-
know if that was common knowledge or
Mhm.
not.
Yeah. I did hear something last night, but it was like only once and not super long. And so
And I didn't hear it, so I was pretty quiet.
All right. Now that we're recovered, mostly, let's proceed with caution.
of course.
Hey, Dad. Grumman.
What is it, lad? No, I know who you mean.
I know. No one else is my dad. I had a really bad dream last night, and I can't tell if it was the stress, if it was like, brain kind of filtering through the shit that we went through, or like a omen sort of thing. I was like running, and I kept falling. And I don't know if you know me, I don't fall when I run. I got big feet. They cover a wide area.
sort of tumble.
I don't tumble, yeah, unless I want to. The fact that I was dreaming about falling while I was running was awful. One, does that sound weird? 2, did you have a sleep and dream that last night?
I actually didn't sleep. I stayed up drinking coffee and looking out the window. But no, that's not weird. I think everybody has dreams about things that they feel they're good at, and then in the dream you can't do it. That sort of thing. I've had dreams where I can't mix a drink to save my life. Sometimes literally.
To put a fine point on it, though, because of where we are, did anyone else also have this dream?
No.
I
Mhm.
dreamed last night.
I take it that's unusual for you.
I always go to the True Library.
I
Gonna say,
also
was
had
that
this
code?
same dream.
The true nightmare? Did you say that?
The true
The
library.
True Library.
Oh, I think he said I always go to the true nightmare.
Like, what?
No, that's an Eldritch Warlock.
Cool.
Were you also in my dream? Did you see me? I didn't see you.
Don't believe so, but I was being chased by something.
Like a really big, scary thing?
I felt that it would be best if I did not find out and it did not find me.
I kept trying to
was-
look back and look at it, but I couldn't see it. And also, I didn't want to see it, which is weird because I definitely always want to see the thing that's chasing me.
Yes, you have an insatiable curiosity.
That's
So,
probably
All
the-
3 of you had that same dream.
Aye, sounds like it.
Yes.
I'm sorry you had the dream, Vespia. I didn't mean to give you the dream. If I gave you the
I
dream,
don't think
I don't believe you gave me the stream.
That's not normal, and probably related to the thing that's out there.
oh,
Don't seem like
shit! Is there like a dream mancer out there?
I would probably assume that whatever I'm going to say predatorial beast is out there is existentially horrifying and invades the dreams of those who rest near it.
I mean, it is potentially the guardian of a ritual to godhood.
Aye.
Guardhood's a lot easier a ritual to get through.
This is true.
It's a 3-day course.
It's a yeah. I was gonna say, like, it's an 8-hour seminar.
Mostly it's just a booklet.
No, see, guards actually have a duty to protect. They actually get training. Guards, specifically.
Anyways.
I'm gonna try real hard not to make an ACAG joke.
That's why I differentiate between guards and police.
Anyways.
We shouldn't stay here longer than we have to then.
Nope.
If we go just a quick bit of time, then, lad, I know you haven't been a bellmender for long, but I thought we probably ought to make it official before we head back in, if everybody doesn't mind. Just because we might not come back, one or both of us. But if I don't.
Sorry, what does this involve?
It's just it
sounds
it's a traditional
disturbingly ritualistic.
traditional coming of age ceremony. Mechanically, I was going to cast the coming of age ceremony on Skuz.
Which is funny because like Skuz isn't an adult.
Well, I know, but the ceremony spell doesn't have an adoption ritual, so
No,
that's
it doesn't.
most appropriate.
I love it. No, it's great. It's great. It's very good. Sometimes you adopt an adult child. It's fine.
Absolutely. Is that it, John? Is that okay, or do you want to?
Yeah, absolutely. That works.
Okay,
works.
All right. So at Billman, there's traditionally we were a tinkering family, mending bells and such like. But for generations now, obviously, any bellmender is free to pursue any passion of theirs. But you know, we have the broken bell. We're a bartending family. We tend bar and. You know, we get in scraps from here to there. So, and Grumman will pull out like a not pristine, but clearly unworn version of the sort of the knuckled gloves that he wears, fingerless gloves, like reinforced knuckles. And he says, these are the traditional tavern menders mitts or tavern tenders mitts of the Billmender family, and pass them down from bar owner to bar owner, and you're a Billmender now, so it's time for your bar mitzvah.
Nikki leaves.
Hi, Nikki.
How dare you? I'm like, oh, this is a really sweet moment. This is a great pun.
I feel like this is revenge for doing 5d10 psychic damage.
You just got 5d10 psychic damage yourself.
I mean, I can't do
kinda
psychic
did.
damage to you in real life, Jeremy. Or can I? So, and then that's the coming of age. So for the next 24 hours, whenever you make an ability check, you can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the ability check.
Oh, great.
Blessed.
You have permanent guidance on.
Permanent guidance on for 24
For
hours.
24 hours,
Does Grummond pass Skuz the glove?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Holy shit. So yeah, Skuz takes it.
No, it's a full pair.
Full pair, and he just like puts them on. He's like, I feel both so powerful and also like I need to cater to people's wants and desires so that they have an excellent time at the establishment that I have opened up. Is that normal?
Buttered them for you.
Already buttered gauntlets. No, that's bad. I shouldn't butter my gauntlets before. I shouldn't butter anything before I have to do things.
Well, like I said, being a bellmender is all about doing things your way, so it seemed appropriate.
Thanks, Dad. And he hugs you.
All right, I'll Grumman hugs him back.
Aw. Sweet moment.
All right, take good care of your barmits, and they'll take good care of you.
This is the first time in D&D that I've actually had a character get adopted. Like actually like physically adopted. Like you've had the thing where your characters like get like taken up by certain characters, but this is the first time I've actually been like whole ass adopted. I love it. It's very good. I'm into it.
Flower
More of
Show
this,
Films
please.
first too.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready.
All right, let's get moving.
Let's head out.
All right. Do you pack up your chest, Vespia?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You all step outside, and as the chest sort of compacts itself, you all get that uneasy feeling of being watched.
This guy's immediately on edge. Like, he hasn't really stopped being on edge since he woke up. You know that feeling that when you wake up from a nightmare, you still have that like icky kind of itch still on your skin. And then he just like walks outside and that itch just gets worse. And
Oh yeah.
so he already has daggers pulled. He's just like, okay, just fucking ready. I'm not gonna trip. I'm not gonna fucking trip.
Valdez just has the star metal gunblade in its sheath on her side, just at the ready at all times.
I'm invisible and my sword is already out.
If we want, I can try and see where it's hiding.
That sounds like a good step. Check the well.
I'm gonna ask. Vespia, can I have 25 gold, please?
Darling, you can have more than that.
Thank you.
I've got 5
So-
left if you need it.
That's
So-
fine.
She'll give you another 500.
Oh, okay. Sweet. I take,
We do our deposits in 500s here.
Beautiful. I love it. No small change. I'm gonna pull out some incense, and I don't. This place is weird. And saw like another like small handful of probably insect shells this time. That she's going to crush and stare at for a bit. I'm gonna do divination
Okay.
as a ritual if I can.
Yeah.
And ask where a specific goal, event, or activity that whatever is here is going to come out and try to attack us. Where?
So is the question, is something going to come out and attack us, or is the question,
No.
where is it going to attack us at?
Where is it going to attack us? She is assuming this is going to happen. Like, this is a
Okay.
thing that's going to happen within the next 7 days. It's going to attack us.
Okay.
She is assuming. At this point. Like, this feels like
Okay.
inevitable.
The response you get is where you're most vulnerable.
I don't know where it is, but it is going to attack us when it senses vulnerability.
Oh,
Then give it none. Valdez says she just holds her sword.
Right.
Find the quickest way to the next area then.
Do
move.
we want to move faster?
Faster and faster implies paying less attention.
Less attention, and we'd be drawing more attention from whatever is here, but we would be moving faster.
I think.
I can get significantly faster.
Are you talking windwalk?
No, I'm not talking windwalk. I'm talking shape change, and I get big enough to carry all of us to the other side. Because we need to like keep. We're trying to
I
get to
don't
the
think you
temple
can turn into a dragon big enough to carry all of us. Because there's
That's fair.
10 of us.
10 of you. Oh, that's fair.
9, not counting yourself.
Well, yeah, I can do windwalk then. Windwalk, I can get up to you and up to 10, so 11.
Yes, you could windwalk all of us.
Yeah, we could do that. When it comes out, though, then we will be vulnerable.
I think let's move and be prepared to kill this thing whenever it shows up.
I'm ready.
It's a hunter. It'll try and find the moment where it thinks it can strike and pick someone off, so don't separate.
I could go out in front and try to lure it out.
Let's see if we can get past it, and if we can't, then we'll see what we need to do about bait.
Right.
Scuzz will turn to you and be like, Dad, if you're gonna, we could go together and like separate and make it like try to focus on one of us.
No, we made it official, so, you're set to inherit and all. Just hang back. I'll take care of the bait.
Grumman is, after all, a masturbator.
No.
So, where are you heading? In what direction?
We're trying to continue on to the east because we need to get east, and then
So,
that's
are you going to take the
east
first?
is Temple District, and then south from that is research. Yeah.
So you take the yeah. Are you gonna take the first like entrance that you can find into this walled city?
Yeah.
Right. So
Because
you
we have to get east.
yeah
Unless,
you
does it look like the wall is small enough that we could just circle around the outside to get east, or?
no.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to go through. So yeah.
So you walk until you find one of the streets. It's particularly one of the streets that they had noted had a barricade in it.
10 minutes ritually cast telepathic bond. Make sure that we definitely won't lose track of each other.
Okay. Yeah. So you walk. You turn. You walk until you have a street to turn. You turn down. The street is abutted on both sides by buildings. So like it's almost like it becomes a corridor just made of buildings. You see that windows and doors are all boarded. Now as you're going in, you actually start to see windows and doors where on the outside it was just wall. You see that most of them seem to be boarded up or closed. As you walk into this particular sort of street, you see that well off to one side. You see that sort of like piled up barricade just ahead of you. And then there are two large, sort of independent of the rest of the sort of superstructure buildings. One immediately to your right that is sort of like, that is one end of that barricade in the street. Looks like it's probably like a one-room house of some kind. And then the other one is the other side of the barricade. Seems to be a bit larger. Might be a larger establishment or just a larger house. And there's a side alley that sort of goes around that larger building.
Can I tell which of these might be the most direct path east?
The barricade would be the most direct path east.
What is the barricade made of again?
It's piled up furniture and like basically anything that could be stacked high enough to form a wall. It stacks up to about 7 feet, just like almost to the roof, basically, of each building. Just a wall of debris, basically.
Valdeth will just sort of like walk up to the edge of the barrier and put a hand on the ground and use her bonus action to gain tremor sense.
Yeah.
And see if she can sense anything on the other side of it for 60 feet.
Nothing but your allies.
They barricaded this for a reason, but I can't sense anything on the other side, at least not for a good 60 feet. Still, let's trust the good sense of the people who built this barricade and go around.
Okay.
Very good.
The building on the right has a door evident up a short flight of like a short couple of steps. There's also an alleyway, like I said, the alleyway that goes around the left-hand side. There's also an alley, what looks like an alley that goes to the south that might be a shorter alley than you're expecting. Just on the other side of the well.
There's an alley opposite the well.
So, like, here's the road, here's a well, there's an alley over here, and then here's a building, and there's an alley over here. And then the blockade's up here.
We suspected something about the well, so she's going to head in that direction. And just, again, tremor sets last for 10 minutes, so she's going to see if there's anything reading in the well.
Pass by the well. Nothing, doesn't feel like there's anything.
As long as she's on any kind of stone surface, whether it's worked or otherwise, she has tremor sense for 60 feet.
So you heading towards the alleyway that's beyond the well.
Yeah.
When you actually get to the alleyway, where it's sort of like an awkward angle, like it's a couple of corner pieces inside, like what would be interior corners of slightly awkward lopsided houses. It sort of cuts around into a dirt path at this point. It looks like this, and this actually looks, it's less dirt and more like seafloor at this point, but for purposes of you walking on it, it's dirt.
Finally. Land, finally.
Yeah, land. Yeah, there's land. It's got like a series of like wooden pallet, like bits of wooden like 2x4s that are sunk into it as a path. It's like a makeshift path, and it looks like it sort of goes around, and you sort of take a look around it. It goes like into an interior courtyard, that has a dried up fountain and a large double door that seems to be barricaded.
The double door that's barricaded, is that the only way through, or is there another path?
There are some windows that are also barricaded, but it looks like this is like a small little step over to a larger building entrance.
From which side are they barricaded?
You can see the barricades, so there's barricades on the outside.
So something... Barricades are on this side of
something stood outside the building and nailed it shut.
Okay, yeah.
Thoughts?
Drummond, how far is the distance to the other alley?
It's just across the like from where you're standing, or from the entrance.
Yeah, from where we are right now.
It's about 150 feet.
Let's walk back to the center for a bit. I don't want to push this unless we know there's no other way out.
All right.
You head back, walk past the well.
Yeah. And then, just in case, because
as you walk back towards the street, there's a next to the on like the edge of the street next to the well, there's a lamp post that has like a lantern hanging in it. As you step onto the cobblestone back in the street, that lamp crackles to life. Yes, Craig?
He's muted.
Muted,
He said
Craig.
something.
Sorry, I just Grumman said hello to the lamp.
Kent, do you see any ghosts?
Can't
I
toggle through
use
this thing.
true sense as well.
Yeah, no ghosts. Oddly,
Nothing?
he'll report that he doesn't see anything in the ethereal realm.
Huh.
Except like you can see the buildings And so he like looks around and he sort of cocks his head. The buildings seem to extend into the ethereal realm, which is odd.
Drummond, we were talking about bait earlier.
Hey,
Check the alley, very quick, and get back full speed.
got it. I will. Can I ready Everclear? Like, not use it yet, but the second there's a problem, use it,
Yeah.
or do I just have to
It's
wait
an action,
until
isn't it?
combat?
Yeah. You can ready it. You can ready any action.
Okay. I will constantly ready it as an action, and then the second that there's any sign of trouble, I will turn myself invisible.
Yeah. Okay. So you're
Um,
readying. Yeah. Going invisible.
So I will run over to the other alley.
So yeah, you duck into this alley. This one is again unpaved, so like dirt, seafloor dirt as you go through it. In fact, there's a couple of dead trees that you sort of start to see as you go through here. It's like just a skeletal like leafless trunk. This one doesn't have a board on it. There you see that there's a couple of spare empty kegs around here. That somebody might have set at some point to use as an end table. There's a couple of benches. You're getting a better idea of what that larger building was as you go down this alleyway. It seems to actually be two buildings, one that has two windows that are barred that you can see, and another one that is like they sort of like butt up against each other. You can see the crack. Like you can see the crack where the two buildings meet. This one seems to be a larger house as well, with a few more windows. Around the far corner, so the other end of that alley, you see that there are two more soft alleyways that go off, sort of deeper into the wall of the residential complex, and then it curves around and looks like there's a way to go around the building with no specific blockade.
I'm relaying all of this back through the telepathic link. That abutment of the buildings where they're almost touching but still two separate buildings, does that look like it's just sort of an unhappy circumstance of people building things next to each other? Or does that look like a result of shifting in pre-established buildings?
It looks, you can still see a little bit through it to the other side, so it looks like it's probably just that they ended up building these two things close together because of lack of space.
Okay, all right. With that being the case,
did the buildings in the previous zone, because Ghent basically has goggle on the entire time, did the buildings in the previous zone also extend into the ethereal plane?
In the
entrance zone, in the entrance
the industrial hub, yes.
Okay, good.
Should I continue on or poke around in the buildings? Should I just
there are two possibilities in my mind right now. There's one path that appears to not be barricaded. The two reasons for that in my head are that either there was only the one path that the people who made these barricades thought was reasonably safe to take, or whatever is hunting out here made only one path to funnel its prey.
Either way, that's the way to go, right?
Either that or we go over the barricade.
Why don't I continue on just to make sure the buildings don't open up and eat me or something of the sort?
I mean, I keep hearing that we're supposed to have a little fun or something.
Isn't that fun?
I meant going down the center. I'm making a joke.
No, I know. I just want to have the fun myself.
All right, Grumman, check ahead. We'll
Right.
follow at a distance.
Okay.
Right.
We'll push on.
So you go heading further east down this alleyway. You find yourself at like sort of a T-junction. There's another building immediately, like sort of as you pass the far corner. Basically, if you started over here where the street is, you went over and then down. That corner there, you see across from it, there's another building with a barred up window. This one seems to be a little slightly elevated. There's like there's like a crawl space underneath it that you can see. all manner of debris underneath. There is a much tighter alleyway between it and what you sort of have mentally determined to be the wall, which is basically the wall is where the buildings are just built on top of each other into a never-ending sort of like extending complex almost. There's a tight alleyway between it and that building and the wall. There's another like sort of off dirt path off to the left of this T-junction. And then there is the on the remaining path, which looks like it leads back to a cobbled street, like sort of a cobbled surface, going around to the front of this building.
Is there still that sense of omnipresent, malevolent anticipation?
Yes.
Okay. Is it getting stronger?
You're not. It doesn't feel like it's getting stronger, but you're not certain what that would feel like in the first place.
Okay.
It's just like it's like the hair on the back of your neck is standing up. They can't stand up more.
Got it. Okay.
Is there anything written on any of these barricades? Any don't dead open inside or anything?
Not that you can tell.
Shall I peek in one of the buildings? I'm damn sure I'm not going to crawl under that one until we at least check on the inside of the buildings above ground.
I can use X-ray vision to look through a wall.
Is my tremor sense picking up anything moving in any of these buildings?
No.
I could knock. I mean, whatever it is, the big thing already knows we're here. I could just knock and see what else happens.
Fair enough.
Right? I'll walk up to which looks like the grandest building nearby.
So if you head out, if you continue heading through the alleyway, the largest building is actually just beyond the barricade. You could kind of see it from north from the other side of the barricade where you started. But as you come up this alleyway, you see that. So there's the building you came around. There's that other building with the narrow alley next to it, and then there's a street between these two buildings and a third building, forming another another side street that is cobbled. That third building looks like it's an inn of some kind, based on the structure and number of rooms.
And there's a barricade between it and me.
No, you could see that the barricade was the first barricade that you saw. If you look further down the street, sort of down the street that's between it and the new building, you see that there is a pile of debris at its far corner from you, between it and yet another small building. This looks less like a barricade and more like just a lot of shit just got dumped out here. You're seeing like dressers, chairs, bits of wall and siding, just a completely impassable corner. And then the street and then the other direction on the street continues out to the front of the building you've been circling around and where the original barrier is.
Well, I think the next beehive to poke our noses into is going to be messing about with those barricades. But for now, I'm just going to go and introduce myself up at this, looks like an inn of some sort. And we'll just see what happens. And I will walk up, and if nobody shouts other ideas back, I will walk up the steps and knock 3 times at the door of this inn building.
I have a quick question. How tall are the buildings here? Are they just single story? We've got multiple.
Some are multiple stories, some are single.
Okay. I'm wondering if I fly up not super far, just 30 feet basically. If I can see, keep an eye on Drummond in case he gets grabbed by something super fast and we just lose contact.
So you don't see any. You can. You can fly up.
Okay.
The buildings seem to be sort of standardized. Seem to be standardized to somewhere around 10 to 20 feet tall.
Okay.
So they tend to be between those two heights. Nothing shorter that you've seen so far.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can fly up, and as you do, you sort of get an aerial view of the place. And it is odd. Make an
how.
insight check.
Oh boy, I love an insight check. 19.
So you can't quite make out the far wall from here. It's just too far away. Like you can, like it's just distance basically. This is a massive hab, much larger than the previous one, and the way you're sort of looking at the the alleys, and like the from above, it seems like. It seems like there's a repeating pattern in the open spaces.
Okay.
As you're sort of looking down at the area to try to keep an eye on Drummond. There's just like it's almost like buildings have been rearranged to form these patterns in the empty space between them, and you start realizing that the barricades almost look like they're part of it. Because where certain buildings will cover space in one section, in another section there's a barricade. I started to pick up this pattern.
And I can't tell what the pattern is.
You can't tell what the pattern is or what it's doing.
Okay.
Just that there seems to be a pattern. You can't. There doesn't you can't think of a good angle where you'd be able to see the entirety of the pattern.
Okay. Not unless I got real high up or something.
Yeah, you'd have to be like in the ocean basically to sort of see it.
Okay.
But you can see Drummond.
Yes, I can see Drummond. That open door that he's going, or not open door, but
well, so you see Drummond turn a corner.
Yep.
Drummond, so you're heading around to the front of that first building to try to find an entrance because there's no entrance in the back alley. As you do, you see that the two buildings that were abutted against each other, the first one, as you come around the corner of the second one, you see that the front wall has been completely destroyed on the first one. The front wall has just been torn away. There's a little bit of debris, but not a lot. A little bit of debris, but not a lot. But like the front wall and a bit of the corner of the roof is just gone. You see that there's a door standing there with like a window and a pillar, and then there should be more wall, but there isn't.
Can I tell if this is a? I mean, it sounds destructive. It's not just been excised out of existence.
It looks like it looks like something burst out of the building.
All right.
Based on how
tell about the building then? Like what building was this? What might have been inside?
It looks like it's a single room home. You can see that there is a couple of chests that are open and empty. There's what looks like another room, but based on how you've gone around it, it can't be that big. And then there's what looks like almost like a kitchenette inside it.
Well, I found the starting point for at least something around here. Something burst out of here. Well, I've taken a closer look, I think.
You can see,
careful. As
you look at it, you can see to the right, there's the entrance to the other building that you've been circling around, the larger of the two. It's sort of like a, those kind of houses where like the house comes out around the entryway.
Mm-hmm.
It's that. Yeah. Like there's like sort of like an inlet and then a step up to into the building. There's a pile of firewood off to one side. There's a bench on the other side of the door.
And Valdez and the rest of the crew are staying at a distance, but following slow.
Either these people did a lot of city planning, like a lot, or this has been rearranged. It feels like.
Did you share the mental image, or did you share a mental image of what, like the kind of pattern that you're kind of picking up?
Yeah,
I'll try. Yeah.
I mean, Grumman's been narrating everything he's seeing.
Okay. Would Ithram be able to make some kind of like runes and patterns are pretty important in magic? Would he be able to see if there's some kind of?
Yeah, you make an arcana. You can make either an arcana or an insight check, one of the two.
Can Valdez also make that insight check?
Yeah.
26.
Yeah. There you go.
28 insight.
Just as a point of interpretation, how far back from Grumman are y'all saying?
Go ahead.
30, 40 at most, at least for
15,
Valdez.
20.
So not very far back, but
Yeah,
No.
I'm staying in between the two.
what form are you in, by the way, Sin?
Invisible, right?
Invisible natural form.
Okay.
27.
So yeah, you're also like as you're making these interpretations, so like seeing the image, none of you can identify it. But the Arcana check with Ithram, yeah, symbols are important in Magic. Repeating symbols are very important in Magic. The idea is that when a pattern is repeated, it's effectively gathering power.
Strengthened.
Yeah, it's strengthening whatever the end result is. So like the more a pattern is repeated and the larger the repetition, the more and more power that is being generated. As an example, when you're trying to make a larger and more intricate teleportation portal, the symbols that are used in the circle get repeated more around the circle and are larger. And sometimes for imbued flight spells on airship crystals, where they don't have a lot of space to go large, they instead go smaller but significant increase to the repetition, to the point where it sort of almost looks like it's like a patina or a pattern instead of an arcane scribble. So yeah, like repetition is important as far as magic construction is concerned. For the insight, the two insight checks, this is definitely intentional. You can't tell if it's intentional on part of the city builders or on part of something else. But you don't know that combined with the sort of the uneasy feeling you're getting tells you it might be whatever the purpose of this repeating pattern is, might be what's giving you that feeling of being watched, or at the very least it's probably related.
Could I just reflexively cast Detect Magic and see if there's some kind of like specific type of aura related to a school just permeating, since this is a repeating pattern?
Oh yeah, you cast Detect Magic. You can sense magic in the air. You can smell magic in the air, but you're not getting enough of a view of it to really identify it. It's trying. You're trying to identify what this is when you're standing right here.
Yeah, that's fair. But I don't get like a general vibe of School of Magic.
You can't see enough of it at once to get an idea of what School of Magic it is.
Well, he's got that up for the next 10 minutes while we're strolling.
Grumman is climbing in through the open building as you suggested earlier.
Yeah. So you walk in really, because it's open to the ground. So you see this kitchenette. You see there's a door that is closed that seems to be some sort of bedroom based on the size. You go to try to open it, and it feels like there's something on the other side of it that's like pushed up against it.
You said there were open chests in here?
Yeah, there's a couple of different, like couple of like open storage chests, and also you see that it looks like there was a pile of kegs that were like piled against the front door, as if something was hiding inside, trying to keep something out.
Okay. Of the same sort that we've seen scattered around.
Yeah.
The city gone.
No, not branded kegs. This is just storage kegs.
Okay. But same size that were, turned into tables and whatnot in the street.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything in or interesting about the chests?
Yeah, there's something in there's like a liquid in them. Sorry, in the chests. No, the chests are completely empty. The kegs have liquid in them.
Okay. Any smell to them?
Faint smell of rot.
All right. There's a stuck door in here. Looks like it might lead further. It might have been barricaded. Well, outside, I may as well try to break it down and see if there's anything inside.
Okay.
Do you want to be alone in there?
It sort of ruins the point of bait if everybody else piles in, doesn't it?
It also ruins the point of bait if you get swallowed and eaten and then it leaves before anybody gets a shot in.
Do you all have line of sight to me with the big hole in the building?
Not anymore since you're in.
No, they're like sort of at the corner of the first building.
I
sorry,
would
the second
probably
building.
be again halfway between them.
Yeah.
Do I have sight?
Yeah, you have sight where you're standing, where the others don't.
Yeah. It's up to you. I can stay where I'm at.
Let's stay back at a safe distance. I'll give it a try. And I'll go and hey, I'll do this. I'll just sing over the link until and if it breaks, you'll know something's wrong. And Grumman starts singing a dwarven drinking song over the telepathic link. And it goes up, and you said it felt like it's braced on the inside?
Yeah.
So the hinges are in the inside as well?
It opens inward. It opens into the room that you're trying to get into.
Does it look like I could break the frame?
Pretty sturdy construction, you're not sure.
As we've hit the Last of Us, hold down the button to move to the new room by lifting the pile of rubble plots.
Yeah. I'm just gonna. I mean, Grummond is who Grummond is. Grummond's just gonna try to smash it first. Just punch a hole through it.
All right, go and give me an athletics check.
All right.
Do it. Kick the door in.
Mm-hmm.
Plus guidance.
Lucky for us, he brought his keys.
24.
24. Let's... Yeah, no. 1, 2, 3. You manage to crack the door a little bit, and something sort of skids behind it. You get sort of enough of it open that you can get a hand in and start pushing. You've broken the lock. And you start pushing, and there's definitely something heavy that you're pushing as you start to push the door open.
Activate my forearm bracers.
Yeah. You see immediately, you can only open it so far before it stops. And you sort of look in and see there's like a dresser, like a full-on wardrobe in front of the door. And currently it's you've pushed it into the foot of a bed that is on the inside. So yeah, you're definitely in a small bedroom. There's a knocked over bookshelf on the far end. A window that was at a higher elevation from what you could see on the ground earlier, so you couldn't quite tell that it was there. That's sort of partially open. It's definitely unlatched and just sort of hanging a little bit, not visibly open from the outside, but actually open from the inside. There's a nightstand with sort of an empty pot on it. The bed is made, and there's no sign of anybody in here.
Not sure that this is worth continuing. I'll describe that back. Titania, not sure if you're still airborne. If so, might be able to get in through this window, and I'll try to describe where the window would be.
I'll try and follow directions to peer in.
Yeah, and you find this like sort of partially open. Like it's not large enough for you to get through. It's definitely it's like a looking out window, not a full-on body window.
Oh, I can get in. Don't worry. I can turn into something smaller.
It's true. You could turn into something smaller and get through. But yeah, it's just like a wooden little like small like personal
Cutter.
window. Yeah,
Type of thing. Yeah.
and you can open it from the outside.
What was that?
Before you take that step, I think we maybe need to take a step back. I tend to get a bit tunnel vision on things like this, but the whole point was to try to draw out any threat, not go rifling through people's bedrooms. If there's a threat in here, I think it barricaded itself more like from something else. So if it was waiting for us to come to it, it's doing its damnedest to make it difficult. So I'm not sure that this is getting us anywhere. Maybe I should go and check the next door.
Do I see anything inside the room besides?
Make a perception check.
Okay. $19.
You notice there's something underneath the bookcase. You can't really tell what, but like you can tell there's something under there.
There's something under the bookcase.
Is it something we care about?
Oh no. What?
Grummond is just like trying to shove himself through the portion of door that's open.
Yeah, you can get through it.
Okay.
Flops
down on the ground, walks over to the bookcase.
Based on where they're positioned, is where they're at technically closer to us than where the entrance into the building is?
No.
It wasn't like in and then back towards us.
No,
kind of thing?
it was in and then further in.
Okay.
This was like where they're at is effectively the first corner of the alleyway you came through.
Let me know if you need help with the bookcase. You do heavy things.
Let's find out. I'll give it a shot with my extra arms.
Yeah, you can shove the bookcase up into one side. Underneath there is an oddly arranged pile of clothes and boots.
Looks like somebody got ruptured. That's what happens when Marduk calls people home. They have a right rupture. Nothing left behind but the clothes.
That sounds ominous.
That's not.
I don't want to get ruptured.
No, you won't, lad.
Thank goodness. Thank God.
Marduk reaches for you, you'll slip right through his divine fingers.
Drummond, I appreciate the fact that you omitted the obvious "have a choice" from that sentence. You won't have a choice.
Right. No, like I said, too buttery.
I'm too squirmy.
This is grim enough. No, it looks like either they just cooperated, maybe this is where the people were before they got squidged into those suits of armor that we fought earlier.
Grumman's words for describing what's happening, it's every now and again, and it's really funny, and I love it.
I have a quick question. This is the first, sign of a person that we have seen.
Correct.
This is weird.
You're just now picking that up, Titania.
Yes, they're dwarf-sized.
Are they clean?
Oh no.
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
I mean, are they like bloody?
No, they're not bloody. They're just mildewed.
All right. Grumman will sort of pick them up. Can I get any sense of? Well, almost certainly not. But there's no sense of how old this style is, right?
Ancient.
in the ethereal plane, there's nothing extra around there. Okay.
So, seems like they've got no bodies to come back to. That's my guess, at least.
Well, that's certainly eerily and unsettling. Perhaps let's move on.
Okay.
I tell you what, I'm wondering. Either one, everybody went and hid in their homes when they got ruptured, or whatever formed out of this person is the thing that burst out of that wall.
I think the latter is less likely because if it had, it would have also burst out of the room you're in.
We're doing a lot of assumptions.
That's a fair point. It was probably in the chests.
Let's keep moving.
All right.
All right. Come back outside.
So
Go to the next.
you come back out. There's the house to your. As you come back out, the house to the left, which was that second house that was formed the alleyway, and then across from the hole there is the inn, which you can tell you probably have to go out onto the actual street proper to get to the entrance.
Is the one on the left the last one?
What was that?
No, it's the
It's not
second.
the last
the
house
one
on
on
the
the
left.
left.
No, it's the second house on the left.
The last house.
I'm making a horror movie joke.
I know you are.
Uh-huh.
I mean, well, we're right next to this house. I'm gonna go up and knock on the door.
You go up and knock on the door. Dum, dum, dum. No response.
Try to open it.
Locked.
Somebody inside. Fucking door-to-door salesman.
Are these buildings still made of stone like most other ones?
Stone and like plaster and wood, yeah.
Yeah, so Valdeth will sort of walk up, put a hand on the side of the wall, and see if there's any read from the other side.
No movement.
Nothing moving.
Move on.
Is there
then.
a path forward past these?
Yeah, like I said, you can go out. You can see that initial barricade now. It's at the corner of the building with the destroyed wall, which takes you back out onto like the street proper, that heads into the front of what looks like the inn.
Valdeth points towards that way. Let's keep going.
I'll go up to the-
Let's not take every detour. We're going to be here all day.
I'll just knock on the last door and then
Go ahead.
check it. I'll go up and knock on the inn.
All right, so you head up to the inn. The entrance to the inn is a little bit ways down the street, so you basically all end up on the street at this point. There is an alleyway immediately across from the corner of the inn that heads between the other building that served as a wall to that initial barricade, and yet another building. Heading down the street, continuing east. You find
Is that the direction we feel like we need to go, or we have no sense at this point?
East is where we need to go.
east is where you need to go, as far as you're aware. You see a few more buildings on one side, and then you come around the corner, and you see there's like a post where a sign should be hanging for the inn, but there is no sign. And you come around the corner, and you see the front door of the inn. There are a set up pair of barricades in front of the inn, not like the door is barricaded, but like sort of almost like a siege barricade, where it's that sort of like that wooden base with sharpened spikes of wood coming out of it, that have been pushed aside. The door is from in front of the building. There's been sort of like something grabbed and shoved, or so people moved them aside. The door is closed, and both the door, the porch, and then a small path leading up to where you're standing that just sort of immediately cuts off as soon as it hits the road is ancient dried blood.
Okay, here.
And the barricade, it looks like something pushed through it or back out through it.
Through it.
Okay. Well, it looks like this is a last stand that ended poorly.
This is the first sign of blood that hasn't been yours that you've seen since you got to the city.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Easy. Let's go down the road, or let's go inside.
No, let's go in the inn.
Like,
No,
all right.
There's something different here.
How old does the blood look?
Ancient. Like, you're surprised you can tell that it's blood still.
How long did it take us to walk here?
You've been walking fairly slowly. We'll say you spent the better part of a half an hour so far.
Okay.
Is this just sort of? Is this some like magic timey-wimey fucky-wucky bullshit with like the fact that there is still biological stuff long after it would have decayed in a normal environment?
Possibly.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Or
scoop up
something was
some
here,
of the-
or something with blood was here a lot more recently than you thought.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I was trying to figure out if there's a way for us to tell whether it's one of those two things.
I'm gonna scoop up some of the dirt with blood on it.
It's not. It's all cobble. It's all cobblestone.
Cobble.
Yeah.
Like
Can
a
I
cobble.
can I pry up a small cobble with blood on it?
Yeah.
You cobble it together.
Uncobble it. Decobble.
You're not making shoes out of it.
No.
Yeah. You can pick up some.
Okay.
Sorry, I've been sitting here quiet the entire time.
I'm doing it. I'm trying to do it carefully so that there is still blood left.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna scrape on one of the stones with a knife to get some
Yeah,
That
it's,
works.
on it.
it's like dry blood.
Yeah.
Definitely blood though.
As far as you can tell. Anyone that wants to
Looks
make a
like
medicine
blood,
check.
looks like blood.
Yep.
Sure.
You know what?
20.
I only have
See
my
if I need to
impressive
spend
wisdom.
Need to see if I see if I need to spend inspiration. No, I will take that. 21.
What I'm learning here is no one's actually proficient in medicine. Some of us just have really high wisdom.
Yep.
Or really low, but rolls well.
So Grummond, Sin, and Valdeth, and Titania,
Mm-hmm.
this blood can't be older than a couple of days.
Okay.
Oh, this is recent.
Very decent.
Either very recent or preserved.
Time
preserved.
preserved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was it time preserved? / why was it recent? Ooh. All of these are
Considering
bad.
that nothing in this region has been preserved like that, I'm gonna say it was recent.
It would make sense.
Ooh.
Make sense.
I don't like it. I don't
How
like
much
it.
blood? How much blood is there? Is this like a person's? This is like a person-sized amount of blood. Is this
Like someone lost a limb or someone got a bad paper.
how
cut.
much? How many
Multiple
people made this blood?
If it was a paper cut, how many people got their throat slit with the paper and spilled all of their blood?
Yeah, that.
There's enough blood to cover to make a what looks like a bloody looks like a dusting, like sort of a trail of dusting of blood. That's about 35 feet long.
Okay.
So it's a significant amount of blood, but
Either a lot of people or one person exploded.
either a lot, or a
paintbrushed.
person was dragged. Like there's also a possibility
Yeah.
the person was dragged, but it's hard to tell because there's no other
Okay.
signs
It's
of
not.
the death.
It's not definitely a lot of people.
Yeah,
or
it's not like a
definitely just one
bloodbath.
person.
Yeah, it's not like a
Okay, cool.
bloodbath, but it's
Ow.
possibly
I'm
one,
using-
possibly more.
Yeah, you keep your bloodbath inside. You don't keep it outside.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
I am using Eldritch Sight to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You similarly to what Ithram is seeing. You're seeing there's magic in the air, but you can't.
Right.
You're too close to it to really identify
There's
it.
nothing inherent in the blood or anything.
No, there's nothing inherently magical about the blood,
Okay.
which would lead you to believe it's fresh. It is fresh rather than being preserved.
Hey,
Right.
Heading inside. I'll move forward unless somebody says something.
Nope.
I'm keeping closer to you.
Not
at this
that
point.
we weren't already in a heightened state of awareness, but expect an ambush. There's fresh blood.
I'm
Right.
keeping
And I-
about 10 feet No.
And I have my
more than
Everclear
10
threats.
feet.
All right.
Yeah, we closed that distance gap. We're no longer following as far behind.
All right. You get up close. You head up to the door. The door doesn't seem locked, but as you sort of push on it, because it does open inward. It opens inward. You push on it, and there's resistance.
Whoop. Probably a bunch of buddies stacked on the far side. Let me see what I can do. Is there a window instead of the door?
Yes, there are a pair of barred windows on either side of the
I
door.
will try to reverse Western myself into the bar through the windows.
Give me an athletics check, and an acrobatics check, and then an athletics check.
Acrobatics.
I will.
32.
Jeremy?
I am not athletic or acrobatic, so I will just once I see inside from the window, I am just going to. I'm pretty sure I have Misty Step, and if not, I'll just Dimension Door. Yeah, I will Misty Step.
All right. Yeah, so you, with those two rolls, yeah, you bounce off the barricade deftly and just shoulder check your way through the window. There's a splinter of wood and the breaking of glass as you batter your way through it. And yeah, then at that point you can see through it and can Misty Step.
Okay.
Inside, you see that there's a large there's three tables that have basically been stacked together to block the door. There is and you see that where there were windows on the outside, there are, except for the two that were right there in the front, there are tables and like nightstands and shelves have been tipped over and put up and blocking the windows. Somebody barricaded themselves in here. There is a counter, where like a reception counter, that has a closed chest behind it that looks like it's also being used to prop up a table that's being barricaded. There's a door behind the counter. To your left, there's like a sort of open dining room that has like what at one point probably had a curtain. Now it's just a rope covering the entrance. And some tables that have been shoved against the far wall, some benches on far walls, another door that looks like it might have led at one point to another dining room, but inside it you see all the furniture's been piled up against the window, and then a door on the far side of the room from where you're at.
What was piled up against the indoor?
Tables.
Start moving those.
Slide the tables away.
I'm just
There's
quiet.
no blood on the inside of the inn.
Cool.
It just starts at the door?
Yeah, it's like covering the door, but it doesn't come inside.
Oh, so maybe either somebody was trying to get in and got ruptured, or somebody, whatever was trying to get in, died.
Yes, you remove the tables and open the door, and the rest of you can join them now.
I want to stay kind of on the right by the door, keeping an eye out.
Okay. As you all convene in the inn and looking around and seeing all these things, you all hear the sound of something raking sharply across stone in the distance. Just
That's the sound again. I hear the sound again.
So do I.
and at that, so we're gonna end for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.